Welcome to this, the 19th episode of Blood on the Thames, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in London, England. With me tonight,
Carlos playing Moses of Clan Nosferatu.
Peter playing Benjamin of Clan Malkavian.
Rachel playing Katia of Clan Tremere.
Philip playing Jim Roy Woods of Clan Gangrel.
Now before we jump into our episode 18 recap, we have a special message from Mitch. So we're just going to share that with you guys first.
Tag out.
Boom!
How did you miss?
That was terrible.
Nailed it. So, many of you remember a couple of weeks ago, we conspired in chat a little bit, and we all agreed that there was a certain something that you needed. And several people, I think it was Looking Alive for a Corpse, Story and Code, and Miss and Reason, donated to the cause of providing you with a gift. And so I have with me today that gift, which is the speaking steak. It's got a lovely ergonomic design. It's got a nice little thumb grip up here to really kind of like, you know, you can really get in there. And yes, I will present this to you for when you're having rather fiery discussions. This will help organise your thoughts. So there you go. And,
Thank you
I
very
hope you
much.
like it, chat.
Thank you.
I hope. Right. That work out?
It was short-lived. There we go.
So for everybody that was asking last week where the speaking stick was, and that wanted Mitch to appear so that he can be punished for not having done it, show mercy. He has done it now. So we'll jump straight back in with the episode 18 recap then, guys.
Yeah, sure thing. At the beginning of last episode, this is loud. At the beginning of last episode, Jim, Moses, and Katia were running away using their back doors into the tunnel and sewer system, and then we split. At some point, Moses called a swarm of rats. 3 rats showed up, 1 left, so 2 remain for the long haul. Our lovely Rick and Morty.
Katia, meanwhile, went to the Chantry, which is warded against lupines, which is great. She meets with Sabine, who is very pleased with the information Katia brings her regarding lupines and a certain Alicia.
Moses, however, returns to his other him. Is it other now? Or
It's just other.
Whereas Jim makes his way to Benjamin's flat, but Benjamin is not there.
Because he is being followed by a mysterious woman in a car and a freakish other figure, possibly monstrous, on the rooftops. After a while, he realises that the woman in the car is actually an ally, a fellow Malkavian called Danielle, and she helps him to avoid the other far scarier figure. And together they go to Edmund's gallery for sanctuary because the sun is rising fast. However, they find the gallery is locked, and so they have to break in.
So for similar dawn-avoiding reasons, Jim has to break into Benjamin's flat and spend the night there. Meanwhile, Katia reads herself to sleep, and Moses is preparing to go to bed when Alicia, Jim's sire, shows up with Jim's sister Sarah because they want a place to crash and have a pajama party. I don't know.
So, therefore, Moses has to agree to owe Alicia a probably huge boon if she'll deal with the coteries lupine problem, which, to be honest, is kind of her deal in the first place, really. Yeah. Katia agrees to owe Moses a minor boon in return for both handling Jim and the lupines.
Jim, however, meets Edmund when he wakes up. It does not go well. And in a completely unrelated incident, Jim picks up a mysterious compulsion.
Katia, meanwhile, persuades Moses to help Jim hunt, and then gets back to reading.
So Benjamin wakes up very hungry and also picks up a mystery compulsion. He hears some scary shit, it all gets a little bit much, and so he runs away and finds himself somehow back outside Abigail's flat. But this time he manages to get inside.
And that's where we left off. So, the time that we pick this back up is between about 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock at night. Jim, you've made your phone call with Moses, who's let you know that if you make your way towards Moses's haven, his personal haven, or his personal flat.
Yeah, his other haven.
His other haven. His other haven.
No, not the. I am in the other. Just he's going to the other.
It'll take you about an hour and a half. It'll take you about an hour and a half to go and meet him there. But where you are, and given the fact that you have ample reason to not remain in the residential area where Benjamin makes his home, you begin obeying the instruction of Moses and making your way towards his abode.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're going to head straight there as well?
After Alicia comes back from the chippy.
Okay. So, meanwhile, Katia, you've woken up, or you've been spending the last few hours, I'm assuming still going over your research.
Yeah, she's still working at the moment.
Okay, is there anything else that you'd immediately want to do?
She would have sent a text to Moses, basically saying as soon as he has confirmation the problem is dealt with, she will return to the domain and can offer assistance as required.
Okay. So you'd receive that message whilst you were waiting for Alicia to come back. Meanwhile, the intake of breath. The footsteps of Abigail moving about her flat echo down the corridors as she's very much alone, aside from the Siamese, the cat that she's carrying around stroking, as she's moving back and forth between the rooms. But through a combination of your disciplines and a surprisingly adept level of silent skill, you maneuver between the rooms, just trailing her as she goes, making stock of where everything is in each of the rooms, where her individual pieces, her art-related pieces, like her brushes and her paints are kept. And as you follow her into the final room, which is situated right next to where a bath has been running, the sounds that you heard previously, she has a number of pieces adorning the opposite wall. Some which she's got on display, some that are half finished, some that are older, some that are more recent. She has landscapes, she has portraits, she has a variety of everything in different styles and tastes, but all of them are to the same quality. But the centerpiece, the piece that occupies the center of the room, the thing that draws your attention, is one of the most incredible bits of work you've ever seen. And it's immediately apparent to you that this is for Edmund. And that's not only because of the amount of effort that she's put into it, the size of it, the grandeur. It has a simplicity to it that you know he'd like. But the style is also the kind that he was shown previously. And it depicts a young boy, blonde of hair, with a white robe, against a brick or stone background. And that's it. But what it doesn't have speaks volumes about it. And it's not finished by any means. You can tell that by the art supplies that are strewn around it. But she could easily sell it in the current state it's in to any gallery she wanted to. But she's not finished with it. And she's moving back and forth, and she steps out of the room, making the way towards the bathroom, coming a foot away from where you stand, and moving past you into the room. And then you hear the door shut. No lock. The cat, who's at the door, and the door shuts with the cat on the other side. You can hear the sloshing of water as she climbs into the bath.
Okay, so fearing that she will be occupied for a little while, there are a number of things that Benjamin's had a little tour of the flat, essentially. He's going to, he will spend a few moments really looking at this painting and trying not to just, put a hole in it or something. But I think the thing he's going to start, he's also going to be looking for, obviously specifically what kind of paints and brushes is she using for this piece. When he's been looking around, if there's anywhere where it looks like she keeps things like books on art or other artists' work that might be inspirations that Benjamin hasn't thought about using in his own work, he'll be looking for that. And the other thing he'll be looking for, maybe he'll probably start where the bowl is, where there are her keys or wherever she keeps them, is does she have a spare set of keys for this flat?
Okay. As you look between the various books that she has on offer, not in the art room, which is pretty much just barren for everything other than her art supplies and the actual art pieces. In her bedroom, there are numerous books on the subject of art, but none on any particular artist. She seems to have a very eclectic taste, which is represented in the different styles that she has for everything. But the thing that gets you is that a lot of her supplies are very simple. They're very sub-quality by your standards, and you know by Edmund's standards they'd be low quality. Whilst Edmund himself doesn't paint, he is very critical of everything related to it. And it's something that he pointed out to you originally when he met you, and then he afforded you better supplies. But she seems to be able to do incredible bits of work with subpar.
So this just makes it worse.
Yes. But the keys, as you go back over there is a single set of keys that has what looks to be for a car. And there is also the front door key. There is also another key that looks to be for some, like a child's small one, like you'd get for one of those children's diary lockbooks. But there's nothing else on the keychain.
Alright. So I'll leave those keys there, and I'll go, because it's just a bowl she keeps there, I'll maybe go to places like her room and the kitchen and just look in a few drawers and things just to see if she keeps a spare set for the flat anywhere.
Okay, you still have Silence and Death up.
Always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Meanwhile, I'll jump back. Moses. It doesn't take too long before a flash of movement off to your right signals that there is movement coming through the cameras, and you can see Alicia returning with Sarah. Sarah has a bit more speed to her steps. She still looks quite pallid in the picture. She still looks quite tired, but you can tell based upon a very small state. It's quite an astute observation as you look down the camera, but there's a discoloration on her jacket that she's eaten something. And you pick her up as they wait at the door, and then you hear them.
Immediately go and open the door for them.
Okay. Alicia
from the inside, and then they just stay inside the train coach.
Okay. Oh, it's worth noting, everyone, by the way, superficial willpower was recovered. I'll also note, for the sake of the chat, because I wasn't clear on it last week, the 4 points of superficial damage that Jim took to his willpower was meant to be halved, so it was 2. So he's not unaggravated, but he was close. For yourself, the Mask of a Thousand Faces is still active.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Then
we'll still count this as part of the same scene because...
Okay.
And when they step back through, Alicia pulls back the hood of her hoodie as Sarah keeps hers up and glances around the room again. It's quite clear that she doesn't really want to be here. She wants to be out. She wants to be active. But Alicia, her pacing is slow, leisurely, and she steps in, and as the door shuts behind her, she nods to Sarah, cups the edge of her face, and then just gestures towards the sofa without saying a word. And Sarah just moves over and sits, quite heavily, clearly reluctantly, while she gestures towards the room that you were in, and Alicia moves off towards it.
Okay. When we go back inside, I again close the door, so Sarah won't hear.
I've had a thought. For a major boon, I'll get rid of your lupines. Well, your lupine problem, they're not your lupines, but...
So for a major boon, you will get rid of the lupine problem in my domain that you brought.
Well, they're not troubling me.
No, they're
and I didn't bring them there.
They were certainly looking for you.
Well, if you really want to place blame, then, you know, I can rescind my offer. You can deal with it
I'm
yourself.
not playing blame, Alicia. I'm just... Why are you torturing Jim?
How am I torturing Jim?
Point at Sarah.
What about Sarah?
She's not supposed to know Jim's alive, or at least even think about it. In her mind, her brother should be dead and buried. She should be allowed to mourn and grieve.
She did mourn, and she did grieve.
And then move past that.
No, she didn't. And again, you're very quick to label the blame. You just assume that I'm the one that educated her about...
Well, I asked, and you were not forthcoming with an answer.
Because I don't have to be. You, of all people, should know, Moses, that knowledge is power.
Yes, but sometimes it's good to have the knowledge to protect yourself.
I don't need to protect myself.
But no matter how I see it, having the knowledge and keeping Sarah in the state she probably is, I don't know, I haven't talked to her, but she must be very distressed about the prospect of her brother being alive, and having Jim about to lose his shit because his sister is aware. I mean, I assume he went through a lot of trouble to fake that death and all that burial, and I assume you helped him.
No. He did it more himself. We're a lot less hand-holdy than other clans.
Oh, trust me, you know all about my side. There was no holding of hands in my side.
Well, then perhaps you understand a bit better than most.
Yes, I do understand. What I don't get is why, instead of just dismissing any notion Sarah might have of her brother being alive and helping her, because it looks like you have a way with her, just letting her know that it's gone, it's over, and she should just move on with her life and learn to live with it.
Because her and her brother are very much similar in that regards. You tell them that it's not good for them to investigate certain matters and they don't let it drop. Now, if you are concerned with the investigative nature of the girl, then I can only think of a few resolutions. And I can guarantee you Jim would like them far less.
Well, I don't know her, but I don't want her dead just because she's stubborn.
Neither do I. And believe me, that's rare. So consider her perhaps in one of the best places she could be.
I'm not saying she's in a bad place. I'm just trying to understand what's going on and how would it be, if it wouldn't be better for her to think that just her brother is dead, period.
All you need to know, Moses, is that for better or worse, she made my acquaintance. And for better or worse, that acquaintance led to a few questions. Now, whether or not Jim's being alive was learned through diligence on her part or by sloppiness on his, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, she knows now.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. If her looking into Jim got her to you, after Jim has been looking for you for quite a while, that
she
gives
knew where
me.
I was.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I only had three options. One is Jim is crap at looking for people, and I've seen him, and he's not that bad. Two, she's far better than her brother, which scares me, because it can expose us. Or three, you wanted her to find you. I'm just gonna say that she's very good, and we'll leave it at that.
She is very good. Anyway, that's the price of the boon, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I am unlocking the screen and writing type of mayor. Yes, it is.
And of course,
It's
we'll need to
amazing.
pass that along to...
Michael Chase. I'll do the honors.
Good.
Courtesy of the house.
I'm sure he'll confirm to me when it's owed.
Yeah. Also, in the 20 minutes that took you to go to Chippies and back, I got a couple of boons. What do you know? People do want to get rid of the lupine problem in our domain.
See, it's not that difficult.
Well, it kind of is. I mean, for me, it's not an ideal situation. I mean, let's face it. You are in absolute control here. You are the one who knows about them, and you are the reason they're there, but, I mean, it's not affecting you. They're in my domain. You have nothing to lose, everything to win, and apparently a way of getting rid of them. So it's very easy to make it look like you're putting me in a situation in which I choose.
Perspective is everything.
It's very clear. I either take the deal, which is somewhat being forced, or I don't take it.
It's not being forced at all, you can say no.
Yeah, because you're giving me the choice of doing nothing and then have a lupine infested domain.
I've offered you alternatives, Moses. It's whether or not you want to take them.
What are the other alternatives?
Leave. I've got to ask, you complain an awful lot about your domain and the people that are saddled to it with you. If you dislike them so much, what's keeping you here? And don't say safety, because there's no safety in the cities or outside of it. And the Nosferatu are particularly adept at making any slums they find themselves in, nice or otherwise, livable, safe for themselves. So don't just claim it's safety.
London is the first place in a while that I've felt at home.
Then make it work.
You don't think I'm trying?
Not hard enough. You're not willing to risk everything you need to risk in order to guarantee that you keep the things that are important to you.
Oh, you clearly have not been hearing the full stories around what has been going on. But
I would look forward to be proven wrong.
Well, I've been doing absolutely everything in my power.
Good. Well, then your luck should change.
Should.
Mine did.
Yeah, funny. It doesn't feel like it did. Do you need any help, or Sarah?
No.
What are you gonna be doing next?
I will be keeping my end of the bargain. I will message you when it's safe to return. I can't guarantee when that'll be. I'll make it as prompt as I am able.
Okay. That puts me in a little bit of a bind because we're not supposed to be hunting outside our domain. And a couple of us are hungry already.
Well, you have two options then, I suppose. You either don't get caught, or you go to your own domain and don't get caught.
What was that you said about my luck being changing for the better? Because it definitely not. Like last night I was in so much better shape. 2 nights ago I was even better. Thanks.
You're welcome.
No, I mean it. You're right. I needed perspective. Now let's take care of your child. Because he's outside the domain and probably very hungry. He usually is. Now let's find a hunting ground in which neither of us will lose it and kill somebody. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be changing the passwords and logs and key for this place.
Good.
But you're welcome to come here. Just text me first.
I'll try to keep that in mind.
I'll try to have like a little cot so you have at least a place with a mattress to sleep next time. And then I just wait until she leaves because I'm not leaving her inside my domain with my computers.
No. She gets up, she opens the door, and she steps straight through. And as she goes past Sarah, Sarah immediately gets up, moves over to the door with her, and she guides her out, and then gives you a nod and shuts the door behind her. And we'll pause there.
Okay.
You've been making your way, Jim, over to where Moses has directed you, over towards his abode. And it's taking you a little while. I'm assuming that you're largely going by public transport. Or are you going by foot? You said foot previously.
By foot, this currently broke.
Okay. Is there anything you want to try and achieve before you get there? Anything you want to do? You're currently outside of your domain. But you are moving through territories which there are ample opportunities for you to try and feed if you wanted to.
Jim's going to be doing his best as this keeps going.
Okay. It won't take you too long. Is you going straight to...
After that, I'm going to my place.
Okay.
To my
So
other.
you're both converging on the same place?
Yeah.
Okay. So, meanwhile, are you remaining in your room, Katia? Or are you going anywhere else?
For now, I'm waiting on contact from them.
Okay.
Planet
So-
safe.
As you flick through your books and you wait, every single movement from outside the door draws your attention first towards your phone and then over towards the doors. You hear footsteps going back and forth. And then eventually the footsteps don't recede and instead you hear
Come in.
a... Through the door steps Sabine. She has a nice blouse on and a long skirt. I'm sorry, darling, am I...
Not at all. No. Now's perfect time. Is everything all right?
Yes, darling. If you have a free moment, I wouldn't mind a bit of a conversation.
Absolutely. Yes, of course. I get up and follow where she leads.
You might want to dress yourself, darling, a bit more appropriately.
Oh, sorry. Assuming I hadn't already kind of dressed for the night, evening, then yes, she would.
She starts taking you over towards the front area in the chantry, and for a moment you think she's taking you towards the library, but instead she moves towards the front door and opens it. After you, darling.
I head through.
And she follows you down the steps towards what looks to be a stunted limo. It's quite a nice car, but it's one of the ones that you'd have more as a kind of private hire. One that's for a smaller cluster of individuals. And she directs you over towards the door, opens it herself, and then gestures for you to get in.
I enter looking a little bit perplexed.
Okay. She gets in after you and sits down with her legs crossed. And there's only the one driver that's moving off. The rest of the limo has nobody inside. But she gives the nod over towards the driver, and the driver begins taking off, pulling away from the curb and going off down to the street. And for a good 15 to 20 minutes, Sabine says nothing. And absent the discussion with her, you just glance out of the window, which are tinted, and you glance out towards the passers-by, the pedestrians, the lights, the shops. London alive by night, and you're just observing it. Until finally, as you slow towards traffic lights, Sabine shifts in her seat and glances over at you. I apologise for the rather abrupt request for you to join me, darling, but there's something that I wanted to discuss with you.
Of course.
She glances over towards the driver and stops speaking, and then slowly says, "You mentioned to me, darling, that above all else you hold our clan to be worthy of your utmost loyalty, above anybody else. Would you say that's still true?"
Yes, it's the sole purpose I'm here. It's why I was picked as who I am.
And to that end, we both agree that having Oliver in a position as Primogen is detrimental to the future of our clan.
Yes.
I have some news regarding Oliver's ascension, which is looking more and more likely. He has the ear, based upon what I've been told and what individuals in my employ have notified me of, he has the ear of Michael Chase. I'm sure you're acquainted with the individual. In fact, I believe you're very well acquainted, at least in passing. Not only is Michael Chase a member of the Primogen, he is a member of the Primogen with a somewhat disparaging view of our clan, but he is also the Harpy. These things combined mean that he can whisper in all the right ears to get Oliver the support he needs. This is another one of the reasons why my previous endeavour that I mentioned to you, the acquisition of a certain property, fell through. And yet, I'm not without hope, thanks in large part to you, because of something that you shared with me recently. Tell me, darling, what do you know of the Hyde Park incident?
I don't know a huge amount. The information was not made particularly well available at the time. I noted that some similarities were raised between that incident and incidents that occurred close to my own domain.
If you recall, there was it looked like a severe animal attack, and there was a member among the victims who went missing from the morgue. The mutilated corpse, the one that did not return from the morgue, was a ghoul that belonged to one Ben Connor, a toreador, and grandchild of Michael Chase. This explains why Michael Chase's interest in the Hyde Park incident went beyond mere condemnation. He did not go with simple rumour or simple investigation by the constable. He looked into the affair of his own accord and then said nothing else of it. Shortly thereafter, Alicia showed up. And every now and again I've witnessed them at court having quiet words, quiet utterances. And despite the fact that she has nothing but open disdain for Michael Chase, as would any sensible kindred, she remains a wild card of a kindred who has no open loyalty to anybody, remains. Why? Why do you think that is, darling?
Is she linked in some way to the Hyde Park incident?
See, this is what I was curious about. Ben Connor was not the closest to his sire, and one of the points of contention that he had is that he liked to rub elbows with other clans. In one particular kindred that he took interest in was Alicia. They were often seen discussing matters with one another and frequenting one another's company in Elysium. Something I took note of most other people avoided. They tend to avoid being too close to Alicia. She's something of a whirlwind, chaotic force among kindred. She has no interest in politics. In fact, she finds amusement when she upsets the status quo, and that's about it. Now, think, darling, your lupine problem and the Hyde Park incident have one common factor. Alicia.
Yes.
And in both cases, the target has been someone very close to Alicia. Why do you suppose that is?
The lupines in question potentially have an interest in hunting down those that she has close connection with, either to minimize her own hold and power in the area, or to upset her standing.
Potentially. I mean, I did consider it as an option, but when you think about it, I am never, in all my years of experience and all my years of investigation into the matter, ever encountered one of the lupines that had anything less than the utter disdain and desire to destroy our kind.
No.
So what would motivate one then to...
I mean, surely it can't be as simple as jealousy or some sort of attachment.
Why not? In both instances, the individual is close to Alicia. She bears them no evident ill will, but in both instances has been quite openly affectionate towards them both, at least in her own bizarre way. Is it impossible to think there is a measure of jealousy?
No, I suppose I overestimated the emotional intelligence of a lupine.
Well, perhaps it's not merely simple jealousy.
I see.
I believe, I have no evidence to support this beyond my own speculation, but I believe that one, I can't imagine more, are bound to Alicia. Now, you have been witness to how dependent and obsessive the bond can make an individual. For mortals, this just makes them little more than annoyance that need to be smacked down and reminded of the place now and again. But what happens when the individual who is obsessive is extremely dangerous and cannot be smacked down? Seems the kind of chaotic element that someone like Alicia might enjoy.
Indeed. And if one were to prove this relationship,
It would be extremely damaging.
yes.
Now, with all this in mind, why might Alicia linger in the company of Michael Chase? Turn left here. And the car begins turning.
And attempt to keep this covered, to keep some reins on the rumour mill of the Camarilla.
Which suggests he does know about it. If he's using blackmail, I can't imagine any other reason why she would tolerate. I mean, he certainly has age on his side, but when she loses interest in a city, she leaves.
I see. So this knowledge is leverage.
Potentially. Like I said, I have no evidence of this, but
I mean, if we were to possess evidence,
well, then we could certainly try and figure out what we wish to do with it. But aside from having Alicia now feeling indebted to two different kindred, which would not earn us an ally in her, and it would not solve my immediate problem with regards to Michael Chase
yeah.
and your sire. Stop here. The car slows and rolls down to a stop on a stretch of street which is empty aside from a few parked cars. And she turns more fully in her seat and looks at you. Do you trust me, Katia?
I do. I trust that you're the person I can trust more than anyone else.
Your experiences with Michael Chase, what's your impression of him?
Someone who's so certainly not to be trifled with under any circumstance.
Do you believe he is of benefit to the city? Or more pointy in the question, do you believe he is of benefit to our clan?
To our clan?
Even if I were to ascend to the Primogen, he would be a vocal voice of opposition to everything we attempted to do, not because it was prudent to do so, but out of spite. You yourself was witness to that at the court.
I mean, I highly doubt he wishes to see any advancement within our clan. I'll agree with that.
No. If anything, his disdain for us as a clan, his belief that we are, and forever will be, usurpers, blinds him to the benefits of having us on equal footing.
I see.
In order for us to achieve what we need to, in order for me to be where I need to, we need to remove Michael Chase. Now, we have at our potential disposal a very unique asset, if it can be guided properly. If I am right, if one or more of this lupine pack is obsessed with Alicia, they will go for anyone they believe to be close to her.
Which now might contain two of my coterie members.
Well, if we guide them to a much more damaging and potentially enraging target, not only do we remove a considerable thorn in our collective sides, but who's to blame us for it? I mean, the Lupines have already proven themselves to have a particular taste for his lineage, and the hatred that the Lupines bear us is common knowledge. And who's going to ever believe that we have any hold over lupines?
True indeed.
Until you told me, I wouldn't have believed that Alicia had such finesse.
You're right, I can't think of any other reason for that relationship to exist.
As I said, darling, I have no concrete evidence of this, but if I'm right, this could be what we need in order to secure us a position in the city that will allow us to flourish. If I am wrong, and your sire does become primogen, then I have done all I can for our clan. And I can do little else but watch it wither and die.
So, are we talking about simply discrediting and thus removing a disgraced Michael Chase, or are you saying we go as far as direct these antagonists towards him specifically?
I am merely suggesting, darling, that in order to solve a particular common issue, we simply give them a more feasible target. Whether we benefit from said target or not is not really a matter for discussion.
In which case it'll be a matter of making it a little more publicly known that Michael Chase and Alicia have a closer relationship.
Potentially. Michael Chase and his backing of Oliver is not common knowledge. Having Michael Chase vanish will not draw any particular suspicious gazes our way. However, Oliver, for all his faults and for all his idiocies and all the damage that he has done you, remains popular in our clan. We cannot touch your sire.
No.
But without his backer, he has little to progress the clan. Drive. And the vehicle begins moving off again. As I said, darling, I trust that this is in the strictest confidence.
Of course.
Do not share this information with anyone else. If you believe that your coterie in some possible way could assist, I ask that you do so without explaining the motive.
Of course, naturally. I know for a fact that nobody in my coterie has any love or support for Michael Chase.
Which is what I am expecting will be the deciding reason for why they desist you.
Exactly, and well, one of them at this point potentially has an in for manipulating lupines, whether through trickery or misdirection or using this link to Alicia. I'm sure there is something we could work out, but of course the motive behind will remain secret.
Well, darling, however you wish to do it, I ask that you keep me informed. I will investigate matters on my side and ensure that any talks between Michael and Oliver are not given ample opportunity to develop.
Of course.
But time is a limited factor at the moment. And if Oliver does become primogen, then we both lose something significant. Do not think that now that because he has a new plaything, you are anything less to him. That he will destroy you given the opportunity.
What will you do if he becomes primogen? Will you leave?
No. I will not be driven out of my city by a man like Oliver. I will perform damage control, and I will do what I can to give emphasis to the danger that he poses. But I will not leave. I have faced far worse threats than Oliver.
So I understand.
The car slows, and glancing out the window for the first time, looking away from Alicia, you realise that you're back at the Chantry. I will leave you with this, darling. Be careful who you speak to, and be careful what you share.
Of course.
And I am putting my trust in this and in you. I pray you don't let me down. Good evening, darling.
Good evening.
You know where to go, and as soon as the door shuts, the vehicle takes off down the street.
And I head back inside to my room to start gathering everything and making sure I'm ready to move as soon as I receive any sort of correspondence from Moses and or Jim.
Okay. Meanwhile, you've been wandering around Abigail's flat now, going back and forth between the individual pieces, going up to the different paintings, doing everything you can to analyze what it is and locate what it is that makes her so frustratingly competent as an artist. And for the life of you, you cannot pick up on it.
Have I found a second set of keys?
No. She has a single set of keys. Going through the different drawers, aside from clothing, aside from one or two books, pieces of paper that she has for a printer, for what looks to be quite an old style computer, one of the ones that you'd expect to see in like an 80s shop somewhere or something.
Okay.
So, she has one of those old style.
Yeah. Top of the range.
Yeah. But other than that, there is not a lot on offer.
Now, I think it will occur to Benjamin that it's late and she's gone and had a bath and stuff, and that might mean she's planning to go out or blah blah blah. So I think he's gonna force himself to leave.
Okay.
The last thing I'll do though is I'll have another look at that painting, the one that looks like it's going to be given to Edmund. How close do I think she is to finishing it? Obviously, he may have no idea, but I'll take whatever he thinks.
Okay.
Like, do I think it's like, one more session, or whether she's going to have like another few weeks of work, or?
Okay. Do intelligence plus crafts for me.
Hang on a minute, I've got to check what's in effect. Intelligence. It's just one of my sets of negatives, I say. Intelligence plus crafts.
Yeah.
Or painting.
Plus, so painting, yeah, okay, so it would be... Okay. 2 successes.
2.
Yeah.
It's hard to gauge. I mean, she has, by all, for all intents and purposes, it could be sold. It is to the degree where it is done. But you get the feeling that if she's anything like you, and she's anything like the artist that that Edmund's worked with, she's going to be a perfectionist, and she's going to want to work more on it. And there's one or two bits and pieces, and you try to look at it objectively. You try not, because just looking at it, you can come up with a list of flaws.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, boom, they're all there, and you're surprised that Edmund hasn't seen them. In fact, they're quite blatant. Yeah. But you try and look at it objectively, and you realise that there is one or two things, and that's only if you're being critical, which Edmund would be. There's only one or two things that she could try and remedy before it sends off, so it is close to being done. She could probably finish it in the next 2 nights or so.
Okay, that's all I need to know. I'm gonna leave as quietly as possible, and I'm gonna make my way to the gallery. Back to the gallery.
Okay.
At some speed.
Okay. So you getting public transport back? Are you walking?
Yeah, I'm going to walk back to the gallery, or at some speed, yeah.
Okay. We will.
As tempting as it is to stay, I think I've got what I can here, so I'm going to go.
Alright. So, are you going there quickly? You going there slowly? Are you?
I'm pretty well, and until such point as my obfuscate fails, I will probably go quite quickly. I'll probably he's not really in a very good state, so he's going to be kind of rushing,
Okay.
back.
So you make a beeline back towards the gallery, heading more directly there than you did when you went over to Abigail's. And then before long you find the gallery and the lights are on, and there are members of security that are there. There are people in and out that are looking at the bits and pieces. It's not an official a big function or anything by any means. There are people that have come in to view the art, but none of the big pieces, the ones that he's been saving for the revealing towards the Primogen, are on display, because you know them. They're a level above. But as you step in, you expect to be greeted either by Edmund or by Amelia, and you're not. Neither one of them are there. Instead, you see another member that's basically taking payments to go into the gallery. She seems to recognise you, nods, and lets you through. There are numerous people around looking at different pieces.
I don't care about them. I want to find. I'm going to be heading to towards Edmund's office.
Okay.
I'm looking particularly for Danielle, Amelia, or Edmund.
Okay. So you move over towards the office. What do you have up?
Well, what if I'm? If there are people and it's crowded.
It's not crowded.
Oh, okay. Probably just heightened senses, because I won't be going silently anymore. I won't be hidden visually anymore.
Okay. You hear from the other side, ring, ring, ring. One of the really old styles of dial tones from one of the kind of phones that you'd have that you'd lift off the top.
Yeah.
Which is the only style of phone that Edmund really knows how to use, as was shown by the fact that he destroyed his last mobile phone.
Yes.
But coming in from his office. And there is someone outside of the office who seems to be paying not as much attention as he should to make sure that people aren't going in there. There is a sign that says private, but he seems to be more interested in the people that are coming in the gallery than anything else. And it's easy enough for you to go up to the office and just open it and step through. The office is barren. Amelia's not in there, Danielle's not in there, Edmund's not in there, but the phone that's over on one end of the desk is vibrating, shaking. Amelia. Who is this?
So, where are you?
Benjamin. I've been looking for you.
I'm looking for you.
Where? Are you at the gallery?
Yes. Yes, I'm at the gallery.
And the others?
I haven't seen anyone else.
Where is Amelia?
She's not. I haven't seen her here.
I will be back shortly. The phone goes dead.
I'll put it down.
And you settling in?
I will probably go, because I want to find Amelia and or Danielle as well. So I will probably, while I'm waiting for Edmund, go like maybe down into the basement or into any of the other little secluded areas they could have gone where they're not on view.
Okay.
I'm not expecting to find them, but I'll probably do that and then go back to the office.
You go wandering between the different places whilst you wait for Edmund. Going between the different alcoves into the different side rooms with different types of exhibits, and they're not in there. You go down into the basement and there's no one in there. It is as barren as it was when you left previously. You even go by the office, expecting that Amelia might have come round in a different area, and she's not in there either. They're not in the building that you can see. But before long, you hear, over the sound of cars, familiar footsteps. And Edmund steps in, taking off a scarf, and he steps over towards the desk and just hands it off to the security guard. And he moves past you, he sees you, but he moves straight past you, over and does the exact same route that you've just done. And then when he comes back up from the basement, he stops and stares at everyone that's in attendance. And then moves past you towards the office, opens it, steps inside and shuts the door.
I'm going to follow him in.
Okay. The door's not locked, but you move over towards inside and he's at the desk and he's looking just straight at the smooth surface of the wood and the phone that's there in front of him. And do you do anything?
I'll wait and watch him for a moment or two, and then if he doesn't do anything, I'll do something.
She didn't answer. In 5 years, she has never failed to answer the phone. Where is she, Benjamin?
She was here earlier. She's gone now.
With whom?
Danielle. Who was in your office earlier?
When?
Earlier tonight. Who were you talking to?
I've not been here all evening. Uncloud your ears. Where is Amelia?
I don't know where Amelia is. I don't know when she is. I don't know when I am. Where am I out there? Where am I, Edmund? I'll point back out towards the gallery. I see her. I see her. I don't see me. I see a little broken pile in your basement. That's where I am. Where am I? Not anywhere. I'll never be as good as him, as her. So hungry and empty. I don't know where anyone is. I just don't know. I don't know.
You hear soft footsteps, and then when you look up, Edmund's there in front of you. If you take this one away from me, Benjamin, I will destroy you. And he places a hand on the side of your face. We're angry at the wrong person.
Who should we be angry at?
Amelia's not here. She should be, and she would be.
I like Amelia.
Where did you find Danielle?
She found me. She said you mentored her. She looked after your gallery.
She did. Your phone.
I'll take it out, turn it on, and hand it over to him. Messages.
Hello, Amelia. You've disappointed me. You've both disappointed me. I'll see you soon. What can I do for you, Benjamin?
I don't feel myself, Edmund. I don't. I'm
Why?
hearing things. I don't even know if they've happened yet. And I don't know. I can't. I'm so hungry and so empty and so confused. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm going to do something. I've never been this hungry before.
Yes, you have.
No, you've always looked after me. You've always made sure. But everything got. We had to flee. I don't know why, and I've pushed myself, and I've got too hungry. And now I'm not sure about anything.
Do you remember when I met you, Benjamin?
Yes, of course.
Where?
It was in Edinburgh. You had bought several of my paintings, and then one day you came, and it was, and then you it changed everything. I'll never forget.
Do you remember the circumstances under which I gave you the gift?
I was scared, and I came to you. We were here in London, and that they'd come. That I don't know who they are, but that one that watches me. They'd followed us here to London, and I was beside myself, and I came to you. And you told me that you could make it so I would be safe. That's what you said.
I did.
And you had me paint.
Just think on that. Think on that and every moment that has come after, and you will achieve clarity and truth.
I'll try. I'll try it.
You are thinking too much, Benjamin.
I am thinking too much.
What you are hearing and what you are seeing are gifts of our clan. People call it madness. They are short-sighted. It is a gift.
Yes.
It allows us to see truth,
Yes.
where other people see lies and slanderous masquerades. Truth is what we have. More than the sewer rats, more than anyone else, that is what we have, and that is why they fear us. That is why they... Your friend was in your home this evening.
Yes, that sounds familiar. Jim.
Yes. The rude one.
Yes. Did he... Did he insult you?
No.
Good.
I told him to leave and he did.
Did everything seem normal?
Aside from your absence. Benjamin, did you have any plans? Now?
Right now,
Yes.
I was going to talk to you, and then I was going to feed, and then I was going to contact my coterie.
I have always provided, have I not?
You have.
Then come with me.
Go in.
He takes you by the hand, leads you straight back out front. And immediately, the moment the door opens, there's a smile on his face. Everyone that comes past him that recognises him comes up and smiles, and he shakes the hand, goes past them, moves on, taking back up the scarf that he dropped at the security desk, straight around his neck, and moves off down to the bottom of the steps. And he waits for you there and looks back up at you.
I'll go to him.
Now, do you have a car, Benjamin?
Yes.
Fetch it for me.
It's just parked here at the gallery.
Right. And he steps around to the passenger side and sits in.
Okay.
As soon as it's opened, he gets in. I need you to go down to the docks for me.
Okay. I'll start driving towards the docks, assuming I know the way. And if I don't, I'll look it up on a map first, I guess.
Okay, drive past Torchwood.
Okay. And you begin making your way down there. You've headed off down towards your
Other
abode.
haven, yeah.
And Jim's been making his way there. Between the two of you, you get there roughly about 20 minutes apart. Jim arrives first and then yourself. And you find Jim standing outside the building as you're making your way down there. You notice him before Jim notices you. Although Jim's attentions seem a little bit more... not preoccupied. He's noting the numerous people that are going up and down past you. I mean, this being a Sunday, there's not a lot of people out after the shops have shut, but there's a few people that are going out and taking advantage of the fact that they can have a couple of early drinks before they have to turn in for the night for work the next morning. So there is a decent amount of foot traffic, but you've missed most of it over the last 2 days. But it's enough that you need to kind of pick your moments to navigate up towards Jim, and then before long, you step up next to him.
Probably he's not recognizing me.
Well, you've stepped up next to him. You've just seen some individual that looks, you know, pretty easy to miss in a throng of people moving back and forth. Just step up next to you.
I just light up a cigarette and he's like, "Hi there, Jim.
Moses.
We have two choices. Either we go back to the domain and hunt where the lupines are not, or we poach somewhere else where the owner is not. Where whatever we do and wherever we feed, I would argue we push our luck in the borders of our domain.
I would agree.
But nowhere near the hospital. Is that understood?
Well, no shit.
I mean, those guys with our blood. No, not good. Let's go.
No. Fucking guest of ours.
No. I was thinking something. Remember Trillins?
Sorry?
Trillins.
Hardcore.
Yeah. Heavy metal plays, all that.
Yes, that. Oh.
Well, it should be sort of dead tonight. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
But that area is not quite inside our domain, but not quite outside our domain. So, you know, a case could be made. And I would rather face any vampire that goes, "Hey, you poachers," than any lupines that go like fresh meat or something like that.
Yeah. How the hell did you get away from them?
I'm adorable. Mask of 1,000 faces. It tricks the mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I still should have ripped you in half, but.
Well, if they know I'm a vampire or a kindred or something.
Yeah. Probably what same as the
Wait.
last time I saw him.
Are they good at doing that shit? Do they recognize vampires?
Honestly, I have absolutely no idea. I've seen one once before.
Well,
Before this shit.
well, this guy was looking for you.
Any reason why? Did he say why?
Oh yeah, of course I have a lovely chat with him. He told me everything about his past. No, we didn't. He was looking for you very vehemently and inside the domain, and then I noticed his companion, which happened to be a lupine on the hunt. That's when I obfuscated and got lost.
Right. You got fucking lucky though.
Yeah, I've been called that.
Yeah. Right.
Let's go. And we're gonna push our luck. And this is why I have a map somewhere. We're gonna go to the northern part of our domain. So we're going very far away from the. Oh no, not this one. The big one. Yeah, the big one.
Okay.
Trillions is around here. So that's the area we're gonna go. Like where it's sort of inside our domain, but not.
Alright, I need you to make a wits plus investigation check. Wits plus stealth check.
Oh yeah, sure.
What's your... I can't remember the name of it. Your security rating for the domain.
1.
Okay, -1.
Just him or
Both of you.
Yeah, of course, because they're gonna be using my security system.
Wits plus stealth -1.
I'm not sure what our timelines are, but about when Katia essentially got back to the Chantry and was kind of packed, she would send a message to Moses, basically saying her work is concluded. If they do need extra backup, she can now.
Okay, between the amount of time that it would have taken, you would have received that text message if it does affect your plans. Because your drive was comparatively short compared to the hour and a half it took you to travel.
Willpower.
Okay.
Are they making a single assisted roll or two separate rolls?
Two separate. Because he's not assisting him, they're both trying to sneak in.
Yeah.
4 successes.
2.
Okay. So what was the message you sent in?
Essentially, my work has concluded. I would say I do need to speak to you. But if you feel you might need extra assistance, I am now available.
Okay, so you would have gotten that message as you were leaving yours.
Oh, okay. It's like Jim and I are. Well, no. Spike and I are on our way to the doghouse. You can meet us there if you want.
You receive a message saying he is neither as cool nor as blonde as Spike.
Which Spike are you talking about? And I probably have that conversation. Like, I'm thinking about, Spike, the dog from, the cartoons.
Dude, the only Spike that matters.
Which
It's not too early, is it? It is about early 2000s.
Yeah.
You're talking about Buffy or something. Yeah. I'm like, no. I watch Mexican soap operas. Like my
You need
nana.
to educate him on this. In game.
Yeah.
I have box sets.
That's your new ambition.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna be setting up exactly where we would meet.
Okay, so will you go straight there to meet him?
I'm starting to feel anxious now, starting to regret leaving them to handle it on their own. Like, yeah, just creeping feeling here. So yes, I think I would try and go to meet up with them.
No, quick question. So we're trying to go inside our domain. We had the -1 penalty.
Yeah.
Right? But that's because of the security cameras?
Yeah, even knowing where they are, it's still something you have to compensate for whilst navigating through a terrain.
Oh, okay,
so
got it.
-1 is representing for the fact that
We will have to use. We have less alleys or streets to use, and it's
and this is working on these. I mean, you
not that
the
someone is
penalty.
watching. It's just that we will have to expose ourselves to other areas.
Put it this way: if someone's watching through those avenues, there's less areas in which you can enter the domain, meaning
Unnoticed.
that the person that's not at the computer can easily map those areas. In theory, that is. So basically, the more intricate you've made your security system, the less one person has to contribute to the rest.
I was asking the question because I got 4 successes. So how easy was for me to sneak into my own domain?
Well, you haven't rolled yet. but I will. We're solving this first. You're meeting up as well, yeah?
No,
Yeah.
because I
would probably be trying to go in a fairly. I don't know that the problem's been solved yet, so I would still be trying to be fairly incognito.
Okay. So I'm assuming that you've met up with these guys on the edge of the domain.
Most likely,
Okay.
yeah.
So
I was actually just because of Moses' mindset with the poacher. It's like, if it's really simple for me to sneak into my domain, it might be really simple for the poacher to sneak into our domain. And, it's like that line of thought. I'm not thinking about the lupines right now. I'm thinking more about, okay, this is fairly simple, or I'm making it complicated.
Okay.
That kind of thought.
So, as you guys are waiting, plotting your mental course into the where you're going to Trillans, it wouldn't take too long before Katia steps off of one of the buses moving towards your location. If there's any discussion you want to have prior to making the final roll that I need.
I will say around that area. I tell her the reason we're. So basically, we're. I'm trying to sort out what's going on with the lupines. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, our choices are either we feed inside our domain without the lupines knowing, or we feed outside our domain without the lupines or the owner of that domain knowing.
Well, we've fed here before, so.
Yeah. So we're trying to push our luck in really.
That's how territory boundaries change, by claiming.
Mm-hmm. So basically, we could go across the street, and the restaurant, Silk Road, and all those in that strip. Places, pubs, whatever is open. Maybe it's fairly early in the evening, but it's a Sunday still.
Well, if I install myself in a pub or something similar, then I will provide backup as a last resort, hopefully.
Cool.
In regards to the three of us having the three of us last time doing this together,
Don't.
How hungry are we all?
I'm quite hungry, but I'm not going to steal from anyone.
I'm pretty hungry and I'm in need to heal this fucking bastard in the back.
What is it with you and this glass you're talking about?
Deal with it for a bit longer. It's not as if it's going to touch your spinal cord or anything. Just work out.
Okay, I don't think I want to know now.
Now you'll find out later.
He fell over in the shower.
Yeah, well, actually, that's
right,
funny.
right.
It's painful, but funny.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
what were you doing in the shower, you naughty boy? Now, I think we have to go. If we move closer to that's fairly outside of the main, but not too far. It's just like a block or something to closer to the memorial, the war memorial. Camberwell Grove, higher up community.
Ugh. Yeah.
Okay, just keep it quick and quiet.
Okay. Since it's very early in the evening, my suggestion of an approach is going to be, stalk people into, small streets that feed into this.
Roll one die, non-hunger. One will die, non-hunger, and then make a wits plus stealth check for me with a just as it is.
One more die, no
-1.
One.
Okay. So how many's total for you?
Oh, add it to the previous one.
Add to the previous
Oh,
one.
well, yeah, I keep it at 4.
Because you actually have a plan for entry for this.
Yeah.
One success.
One success. Okay.
3.
0 additional, so 4.
Sorry, I can't willpower that one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So where are you heading? Trillans.
Yeah, like a block from Trillans, all the small roads that feed into that area, but on the side that is outside the domain.
Are you going with them, or did you say you're branching off towards?
No, she's going to proper
I'll
Trillans.
probably be in Trellans.
Okay.
Just very close by on hand.
It's a slow route. I mean, your domain is not massive, but you are taking extra care with how you're moving. You know where the security cameras are, and that helps to a degree, but it does force you down routes, which heightens your paranoia, because the routes that you are taking are not the routes that you would normally take. You have to try and think outside the box about where everything was placed, what area does it cover, where are you likely to be ambushed from if they know this domain at all, because you don't know. But you make your way toward Trilland, and there is no opposition towards you guys as you're making your way there. You don't spy anything as you're making your way through either. But that's not to say that you haven't been observed. Whether or not you have been, you don't know. But before too long, you make it over towards Trilland's. You two branch off close to where Trilland's is. And Katia heads off inside.
Yeah.
Pay the entry fee, stamps
Buy
on
a
your
drink.
hands, and you step up inside. So where are you two going? You're going to hunt. Okay. What method are you using to hunt?
Probably alley-catting, and I'm helping.
Yep. Right, so it'll be strength plus brawl
Yeah.
+1 for the teamwork.
Yeah.
Or something the grappling specialty?
Yes. Though I might not include that every time hunting.
I'm basically obfuscating in a corner, letting him know when he's safe and when not.
You might wanna.
Yeah.
You got 3 dice to reroll if you want to.
Yeah, I'll spend that.
Re-roll them. Better re-roll them.
Yep.
So I can remember those ones. That was worth it.
That is 7 successes with
Wow.
a
A
critical win.
good crit.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
So,
You get one for me as well.
Yeah, one to go.
Moses, still disguised as this individual that is commonplace on the street, dressed like the vast majority of the people moving up and down. You know, if you hadn't been approached by him, he's easy for you to ignore, and that works in his favour in that everybody else is ignoring him as well. And he is noting the people that are in company or the people that are coming around the corner on their own that are distracted with their phones or have earphones in, whatever. But as soon as he finds someone that has earphones in and has their phone out, it's the prime target. And the moment he is certain that no one is watching, he gives you the nod and you step up behind him just as he comes out, hands around the mouth, and you pull him back with a severely sharp yank that pulls him off of his feet. But because you hold him by the chest as well, you don't damage his neck. But you pull him into the shadows around the side of one of the large set bins. How much are you going to take?
I'm gonna take 2.
Okay.
Earpods me.
What's your hunger?
Oh
3.
god, he can't
3,
hear them. He's got
yes.
earpods
Okay. You begin drinking. And you drink.
I'm just gonna be
You don't
damage control
feel
around.
any elevation. The blood's going down your throat, and it tastes as sweet as it normally does, but that tightness in your chest has not moved. You're still at hunger 3.
Just gonna take as much as I normally take. And then let go.
Still got 1.
Have you let the wound closed?
Yep, let the one closed.
The individual's eyelids flutter and they slump against the side of the bin, glancing around, but with the cord of the headphones wrapped around their head, their phone kind of dangling off the cord that is wrapped around their wrist. They're just kind of in a haze, not really understanding what's gone on, trying to focus and not being able to pinpoint anything. But you feel strange. You don't feel... You're used now to, once you have the blood, you've associated that taste, that incredible orgasmic taste, with the relief that follows it and the alleviation of the tightness in your gut. But it's still there.
I'm gonna just try and push this dazed person from out of the way, and then sort of motion Moses and step away from that immediate area.
Okay.
Better? Well, you were hungry.
No. There was no change.
I would have been scared if that guy changed into a werewolf as well, but no, we're hoping to feed off normal people.
Yeah, I know. Tasted normal, but I feel no better.
Hang on a minute. What?
I drank as much as should bring me down to a comfortable and pretty safe level. And
Do you think it's the wizards messing with us?
fucking try one.
You know what? I will. Let me take advantage of this, and I am just gonna try to find someone to.
I'm gonna flick him.
I'm not gonna jump them in an alley. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
in a normal talking, feeding
Yeah.
thingy. Okay. Be right back.
I'm gonna flick him the phone, and Miss Katia.
Yes, Moses going your way, basically.
Yeah, and also attempted. Didn't work. Don't know why.
So your phone would buzz as you're nursing a drink that you've not actually drank yet. I'm
So
assuming.
fake sips.
Fake sips.
Yes.
And then you get this message, and as you are looking it over, do you want to send a response?
No change at all.
Any response?
No.
We'll pause there. With Edmund alongside you, you begin making your way towards the docks. And every now and again he directs you down a street. Otherwise he says very little, he's just observing the outside, just observing people going past. Seems content to just be there in the car in your company. Every now and again he looks over and offers you a smile. He seems as though he's been in good spirits all day. The moment, the meeting in the office completely gone over your head, and it's comforting being in his presence, just like it always was. And this was how it was for a while that you could remember.
I'm going to be thinking about what he said about, remembering these gifts, and because he told me that will make me feel better. So I'll be trying to think about that. Does it make him feel better?
I mean, it makes you feel more comfortable in the sense that it's grounding. It's things that you know. It's things that you know are true. And it gives you the sense of, you must, there have been bits and pieces that you've seen that must not be true. Because he says he hasn't been in the office all day, and Benjamin, your sire would not lie to you.
No, but then so Benjamin obviously thinks now realizes that clearly was a premise for the future.
Yes, and whilst that in and of itself is, you don't like the idea of that discussion happening. Hopefully not with yourself, but then you also feel kind of a prickle in the back of your neck at the thought of him having that kind of discussion with anyone else. It's a kind of catch-22. You can't really win in that situation, but you think on it as you drive closer and closer towards the docks, underneath the lamplights, and you're now approaching an area where there's less traffic coming in, because not that many people visit the docks at night, unless someone works there, and most of those people are already parked up. And then before long, he will do fine, Benjamin.
So, stop. Park somewhere.
No. Further down, you see between those two. So, and he waits until you pull up, and there isn't much of a gap between your door and the edge, but he's got sufficient gap to get out. And as he gets out and shuts the door, he's... Benjamin. I'm sorry you felt unappreciated. Stay here. And he closes the door. And he turns and he walks off and around the corner. You wait for 5 minutes. And you wait for 10. Is there any messages or anything you want to send? Anything you want to do?
I will send a text to Katia that says something like, was distracted earlier. I understand what you meant about Jim. And then I'll probably just add no long-term damage.
Okay.
So would I receive this?
Yeah.
So I'm still swishing this drink alone at a table. Like, wow, I must look really pathetic right now. Pleased to hear it.
And then kind of as you meanwhile, you wait and you observe there are dock workers moving back and forth, and you can see some of the the boats and the ships moving back and forth. And you sit and you think on Edmund and the kind of paranoia and the kind of unsettling discomfort that you felt. It just drifts because he's here with you. You are his focus at the moment. And we're going to pause there and go on the break. So guys, we're going to take 10 minutes out and then we will pop back in and resume where we left off.
There is nothing more agonising than sitting on like a trove of information and just, I want to stir it.
Like, I mean, we already missed it.
Sorry guys, I've got the talking stage.
Sorry.
Oh!
You didn't know, this is a thing now.
It's a new thing.
We
It's a
agree.
thing.
Only the one with the
Like
talking
that.
sticks.
So the idea is that when we're doing lots of different things, I don't know.
We'll do that in a minute. It's fine. You just.
It's like he's channeling his character. He's channeling his character.
Fuck's sake, Jim.
So yeah, we thought that in the interval at least we'd use the talking stake because obviously it doesn't exist in character, at least not yet. And maybe that'll be scary when it does.
Oh yes.
So the thing I want to talk about while I've got the talking stake is just to remind you all that we have a raffle for the V5 core book, which will be episode 20.
So next week.
And to get tickets in the raffle, if you subscribe, and if you subscribed any time from episode 17, that counts. That gets you a ticket. Every time you throw 100 bits at us, you get a ticket for every 100 bits, whether that is all in a lump or spread out or whatever, that's absolutely fine. And Jenny will draw the winner next week. And we will then scribble lovely things in it for you and send it your way.
Do we have any chat shout-outs?
Yeah, we do. There's a few shout-outs that we can do. So we've got.
Let's not throw sharpens.
Remember, kids, don't throw stakes at home.
Just to make it official,
Don't throw stakes
Mitch is
anywhere.
holding the talking stake.
I am holding the talking stake. So we have
Like this.
New subscribers, Vic Weekly and Frassy Sass.
Oh yeah!
Hey!
Thank you very much for the fan.
We've got Mighty Paintbrush cheers 1,000 bits. She said it was for that incredible Edmund scene earlier.
Hey.
Oh.
And Frassy Sass gave 100.
Nice.
Lovely.
And then I've also been demanded by chat to just do a quick shout out to Mitch for the talking.
Okay.
What? Oh, that dick. Oh, no.
A shout out to Mitch.
Oh, that guy.
They make me do it.
Now, if you'd actually brought an actual steak for us,
Yeah,
we could
steak.
eat.
We'd have plenty to talk about then.
Like
as well.
a ribeye steak or something.
That's his next
Future
taste, that
reference,
steak.
medium rump. Yeah.
Medium rare.
But
Rare T-bone.
we had a small cheer from somebody that wishes to remain nameless that said that I should shout myself out.
Was it you?
No.
Please,
Now we are, since we're approaching our second, well, it's not a decade, but it's a second set of 10 episodes. It's time to, dust up and update Moses' amazing list of places. So again, for those of you who don't know, we are having a list of places people are watching us from. It used to be just the country people were watching us from, but it soon became a city plus country thing because then we had like multiple viewers from different cities in the same places. So if you're watching this, even if you've done it before, make sure to either leave a comment or in chat or in the subscription or just hashtag MALOP, that's MALOP, and tell us where are you watching us from, and I'll be preparing a list with all those, and then you can see who whom else around the world is enjoying Blood on the Thames with you guys, and that's actually a list that I'm doing because I find it fascinating that all of you are out there watching us, so I want to do it in recognition of all of you out there where you're watching us.
Agreed.
Just to say that we don't normally see the chat when we're playing, but we do, because our social life is so awesome, we do tend to sort of watch afterwards, and the chat is amazing. So thank you, and we do appreciate what you're saying, and it's great.
The gallery.
Oh, yeah, oh right, okay, so just in case anyone doesn't know, we have now on the website Edmund's Gallery, so all of the incredible fan art that's been going on for Blood on the Thames Book 1 and 2, but also the work that came through from Spectaculars, the one-off, and also Nibiru, the one-off, is all on there. And for those of you who like the work that Rachel does for the stream, that is also on there as well for you to enjoy. So do check it out. And the other thing that's very exciting, I'm very excited about anyway, is that we've started to get our first fan fiction for the stream as well. And that there's now a fan fiction page on the website as well, so do go and check that out, which is great. And we honestly did not expect any of this stuff when we started, so thank you all. And anything you've got, do send it our way. We'd love to see it, and we'd love to share it.
Oh yeah, by the way, art, all art that like fan art that you're gonna be doing, we would like, in honor of now the gallery being on our website, make sure to place the hashtag Edmund's Gallery.
Yes.
So also for us to find it easier, because I struggle. Everybody's like, "Did you see the last Benjamin?" I'm going through my timeline like crazy. But if you go hashtag Edmund's Gallery. Thank you very much. That's the way we'll find it.
Anyone?
I think I'm done.
Possessive of the stick, are we?
Do you want it? I've got something else to say.
Okay.
It's quite exciting having this stick, right?
Yeah.
If only we had it as the coterie. So we need to do the relationship map.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's very quick this week. So the only change on the relationship map is on Benjamin's end of the board. Over here, where you'll see that Danielle has been added. I fear maybe not for very long, given Edmund's recent reactions, but she is there at the moment. No one is on the board of the dead this week, new, although again, I think that's probably going to change very soon. And that is literally it. Just the addition of Danielle.
Do we have any questions from chat?
We got a couple questions, yeah.
This thing is so ergonomic.
Yeah.
Very
Tell you what,
ergonomic.
Mitch did a nice job, didn't he? It's got a little place to rest your thumb and everything.
Yeah.
Really get the power in, you know.
Yeah.
I liked when I said a couple of questions on that one.
Okay, one question. That's good. A couple of one.
Oh no, I didn't write it down. I'm doing a terrible job.
Dylan would have written it down.
Yeah.
The Dilly would have done it. Can I have chocolate?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, the person whose name I've forgotten. But they asked, if
So sorry.
you've had any like really morally difficult scenes and straight out in this game so far, like anything you found like particularly difficult to kind of choose what to do.
Yes.
Can I even say no?
Who wants to stick?
I've got the stick, so I may as well go first. Admittedly, for me, as this is my first game, so a lot of it has been difficult because I've literally been learning what I've been watching. So I'm going around what can I remember about what's going on. Let's make sure I know the character, and so all that has been quite difficult. But then again, it's difficult for Jim as well a lot of the time. Surprisingly, he's a lot more than he seems.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of moral difficulty, there's constant choices, like when you're playing PTM, like all the time. Anything regarding Will, although it's a bit easier now because she's fucked anyway. So I can do whatever the hell I like. No, not quite. Yeah, like making decisions regarding kind of clan versus like where loyalties lie, I think shifts and change a lot, and you have to really think carefully about that. So that's pretty tough. And yeah, I guess trying to balance, like, realistically, none of our characters are very old, so like the monstrous nature of kind of what you are is still at odds with like the person you were before, and like all of our characters certainly had different levels of human decency, but they all had decency, and they all had their own morals and stuff. So you got to try and think, how would a real person kind of react to stuff like this? This isn't like a superhero kind of setting.
I guess what I always feel like I should pass on this question, but I think one of the things that obviously Benjamin as a character is often very worried about the moral choices of things going on, so that's kind of easy to play with. The thing that I find difficult sometimes is doing justice to the various moving parts and different influences on him as a character, and trying to decide what's going to win out and what to do. So I think it's not so much a moral thing, but I feel sometimes the challenge of trying to I don't know, do justice to the setup and the situations that we're put in by the ST. So.
Well, yeah, for me is a mix of what Rachel and Peter were saying. It's basically our characters are not super old, and they are certainly still in tune with their humanity, or very much in tune. And I have tried to play Moses as a very humane kind of Nosferatu. I mean, he's cute, he's adorable, he's fluffy, all of those things. But those are not morally complicated decisions for me, but some of them tend to be very complicated for Moses. And staying true to his nature and character is sometimes a little bit difficult, because he would rather take the fall and do nothing than probably hurt somebody, instead of protecting himself. That's something that I don't think I would do 100% of the time. I would rather make things clear, defend myself, as well as stopping whatever external thing is coming. It's kind of difficult sometimes to draw the line between character and player. Mitch?
So that was from Looking Alive for a Corpse.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got one more question coming in. And I like this question a lot. This is a good question. It says, it's from Oradan. It says, question, when will Mitch guest? That's a great voice for this.
Answer.
Well,
I will be having a discussion with Mitch, and maybe in book 3.
Which is super close, guys, so.
Yeah.
And the other thing to say is, of course, Mitch already has guested on Spectacular's One Shot, and there may be a second Spectacular's One Shot coming up in the near future. And should that happen, Mitch will be back in that as well.
Go Biohazard!
yeah. I think that was the first stream we actually were getting sent art during the stream, which I think we were all just going, oh my god.
Loved it.
It was
Amazing.
Dolphins.
Right.
And now I get to speak forever.
Yeah.
We're ready to go back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right.
So, we are back. So, we didn't touch too much on you for now. So, we will resume. You've been spending about 10 minutes in the car. You've sent your message off to Katia. You've gotten your response.
Yeah.
And then 15 minutes pass. And then just as you're beginning to get a bit anxious, just as you've distracted yourself for as long as you can, the passers-by, with the ships and the boats moving back and forth, with the sounds of the docks and the sounds of the waters down below where you currently are situated. Just as you are looking in your rearview mirror, expecting to see Edmund come around the corner. Instead, you see marching around the corner Amelia. And she stops and looks over to where you are, and then glances back over her shoulder, and then moves over to the car, and then stops alongside it. And then Edmund steps around the corner, and he glances over towards her. and then he looks back over his shoulder. Then he moves over to around her through this small gap, grabs the door and opens it. And she steps inside. And he leans in and he grabs the seatbelt and he pulls it over and puts her and attaches it, securing her in place. There. That's better. Pulls out of the car and then closes the door. Steps over to his door and opens it and sits inside. Now everything is as it should be. Benjamin.
Yes.
Where would you say your favourite place is in the city?
Well, I mean, there's your gallery, of course.
Aside from the gallery. She knows the gallery. Where might Amelia like?
Oh, well, I'll look at Amelia.
She's not looking at it. She's got her eyes downcast. She's not looking at it.
Which, I mean, she's right there.
I'm asking you, Benjamin.
Then I'll think about, because obviously I did a little bit of a swing around London when I first arrived in the city. I don't really know anything about Amelia, to my knowledge, beyond the fact that she's very professional. So I will say perhaps somewhere by the river.
Okay. So you begin driving around while you have a think on this. Is there any, I mean, you don't need to say the specific name, but is there any kind of venue or type of thing you'd go to?
Well, I'm thinking about places on like the embankment where there's like the nice views of the river, and you've got lots of nice views of bits of London, particularly at night where it's all lit up, and the London Eye and House of Parliament, all that kind of stuff, all like along there. But there are also, of course, places to eat, and there are so somewhere along there.
So you pull up relatively close towards where the Thames is, and once you get there, he surveys it and then nods, and then opens the door and gets out. Come, show me this place, Benjamin. Okay. And he goes over to Amelia's door, opens it.
I'll get out and I'll take.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He leans across, undoes the seatbelt, pulls it back, and then adjusts her hair, almost like in a fatherly kind of way, and then just, come, let's look at this place that Benjamin's brought us.
So yeah, I'll take somewhere where we've got a nice view of the river with some of the kind of the historic, like, you know, current and kind of classic London landmarks, and sort of lit up at night, where we're looking at them kind of across the river.
Okay. He offers his arm to Amelia, and she takes it, and he just starts walking with you. And he's just observing, he's smiling. He seems to be in good spirits. His mood seems to have elevated exponentially now that she's there. And although she's not saying anything, he's got his hand pressed on her, almost like he's stroking the rear of his knuckles, her knuckles, as he's wandering alongside you, just wandering down the Thames. And he considers the water, and then he considers the various shops. And every now and again he asks you to point out different parts of this and why you like it.
I will, but I'll be a bit distracted because I'm very hungry and I assume there are people around, so I'll occasionally be just kind of watching them.
He doesn't seem to care.
Cool. Yeah, well, I will snap back and say, oh, well, there's something about the shape of this statue I've always liked. I think it tells a story.
What story, Benjamin?
Well, there's something sad about the statue, and also you can see it's got some damage here, and I always wonder about what caused the damage. Maybe someone on their bike got distracted, or perhaps there was a fight here, or, you know, and that the statue just saw it all, and I should paint it really at some point.
See, you're observant.
Yes.
You see truth. And it's why I admire you, Benjamin. It's why I've always admired you. And it's why I brought you into this world. Let's sit. And he moves over towards the bench. And he sits down there. And Amelia sits down next to him, and he's released her arm. Being observant is important. Isn't it, Amelia? She says nothing. I know you are an observant woman. That's why I'm quite fond of you. For 5 years, I have treated you with kindness. You have never wanted for anything, have you? What have you ever wanted for, Benjamin?
Ever?
Since you've known me.
To be worthy of your patronage.
You are.
Am I?
Yes, Benjamin. But if you wanted for anything else, have I not been generous?
You have. You have been very generous. Always.
Then why? Amelia, why? This is a lovely spot, Benjamin. I see why you like it. I see why you wish to paint it. I am proud of you, Benjamin. And in my own way, I'm proud of you too, Amelia. Even if you do hurt me so. Benjamin.
Yes.
Thank you for this place. How far, where do you need to go? Anywhere?
How far do I need to go?
Yes.
What do you mean?
You have plans?
Oh, I should probably talk to my coterie, but they can wait.
No. Can I borrow your car?
Yes, but I'm very hungry, Edmund. I worry about travelling with all these people and doing something foolish in a place I shouldn't do it.
Oh, Amelia can help. You don't mind, do you? She doesn't mind.
Oh, then yes, of course you can have my car. Do you want the keys?
Yes.
I'll hand them over.
He takes the keys and he hands it to Amelia. We'll drive to closer to where you need to go, and Amelia will help.
Oh.
I will borrow a car, and then I will return it to you.
Of course. Yes.
It really is quite lovely.
Yes, and the lights on the river, I think.
We better be going, Benjamin. Offers his arm to Amelia. And she slinks her arm in without looking up. She hasn't said anything, but she climbs to her feet. with no further glances from Benjamin that look anything other than affectionate, and he just strokes her knuckles and then just gestures for her to walk with him, and then you begin making your way back towards the car. And then as you climb into the front, he climbs in next to you and then allows you to drive. He says nothing else. Amelia doesn't say anything else, and you start making your way closer back towards towards your domain. And then when you get as close as you can, you stop in as quiet an area as you can. And then he gets out of the car, but then before shutting it, leans in and says, "Perhaps you'd be more comfortable in the rear seat."
Yes, I'll get outside.
I will keep an eye out. Closes the door.
I'll get in the car, a bit in the back.
Okay. Amelia hasn't moved.
Okay.
It's almost like she's too terrified to move. Are you going to feed?
Do I think that's what Edmund is setting it up for? So I'll look at her, and I'll say, "Do you know what's going on?" Oh. I'll try and be as gentle as I can. I didn't realise this is what he meant. Can I?
Just do it quick.
Can I help you? So I will, very aware of the fact that I really want to just, chow down. We try and be extremely kind of careful and gentle and find a place and all of that. And I will feed.
How much do you want to take?
Well, I mean, obviously I'd love to take a couple or whatever, but I wonder if Benjamin isn't going to want to take that from her. It just seems awful somehow. So I think he's going to aim to take one, but he may end up taking more, depending on this roll that I'm going to have to make.
Okay, so you're aiming for one.
I'm aiming for one. I'm aiming to take as little as... I'm aiming to take the edge off the hunger.
Okay. Willpower roll, please.
And it's add humanity dice, isn't it? Bonus dice, yeah.
You're at 4, yes? What's your hunger?
4 hunger.
4 hunger, yeah. Okay. 4 successes.
Okay. Whether it is because of... I mean, there is clear pleasure that goes through you both at the ecstasy, the kiss. There is no avoiding it. But there's still rigidness to her, and the dampness on her cheek that you can feel, that you know she's crying. It spurns you in a way towards relinquishing any control that the beast has. And after draining as little as you can, you pull yourself away and lick the wounds closed. And she shudders, and her eyes flutter as she tries to maintain control of herself as the ecstasy dies. And you are now down by a hunger point.
Yeah. She doesn't seem surprised or free. I'm assuming, considering what's happened, I'm looking at her to see if she seems like someone who is...
You will, by the way...
Yes?
Get a disgracia.
Ooh.
Disgracia? Wow.
I will go into detail on that in a bit.
Yeah, sure. I'm assuming she doesn't seem like someone who's been like, what the fuck was that, or freaked out. She seems like someone... I'll say to her, thank you. I'll get out of the car. And look at Edmund. And say, Edmund.
Benjamin.
I think when I was confused earlier, it was because of the gifts you talked of. I'm worried I might do something foolish in the future. something that will make you angry. And I think I know a way to stop it happening. A way to keep myself grounded.
I see.
I don't understand what's happening, but I think that in spite of her long service, Amelia has displeased you in some way. Very badly.
She's hurt me. But I don't think you would anger me again, Benjamin. You've fought so hard to
Yes.
ensure that you don't. And I finally believe you.
I want to believe that, Edmund. I think I see how having someone to help with the little things makes such a difference to you and how it has in the past. If you are angry with Amelia and tired of her, perhaps she could help me and I could help her to make it up to you somehow.
What do you mean?
I don't want to overstep my bounds, Edmund. I don't understand what's happening, but I know that you're angry with her, that she's displeased you and hurt you. And I was just thinking that perhaps the way she has been helping you, she could help me, help keep me grounded. And in return, I could help her to make up for this hurt she's caused you. And just a thought.
Make
Oh, no.
a
We're doomed.
I'd help you if I could.
charisma plus persuasion.
Yeah, come on. Oh, I can't rouse them on hunger 3. This is ridiculous. I'm just going to roll them. Nothing.
No successes.
No successes.
Okay. Did you want to willpower that at all?
I can't. I'm on.
can't, okay.
It's just hunger dice.
Pray. Hey, stranger things have happened.
I've aggravated roll for damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, Katia, you've been receiving these messages as you slave over the same bottle.
Yeah.
Moses is separated off, which you were unaware of, but you've gotten these messages from Jim. Did you want to remain where you are?
Yes, because none of them have said they need any help
Okay.
I just show up.
stating facts.
I just show up on her, like where she is.
Okay.
That's the
What,
way
in the...
That's the way I'm going.
Okay. So you're going in to Trills. Okay. It doesn't take too long for Moses to show up next to you. And you recognise Moses because he's in a similar guise to what he was in when you met him and Jim earlier.
I just sit down next to her.
What happened?
For some reason, I helped him hunt, but it was okay. It was nice. It was clean, no mess.
Impressive.
But also, he looks just as hungry as before.
How far are we from the mage's jurisdiction?
I have no idea, but that was exactly my thought. I told him what if he felt like himself, and could this be the mages? I mean, I
How far are we from the hospital?
oh, we're
Is that the other side of
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mages, us, like across the domain. Opposite end, actually.
This has to be specific to Jim because I've fared just fine here before. And so have you. Well,
Yeah.
it's been, this particular location can't be the problem.
Yeah. So it's... Okay, it's either him or the people, or the person he fed from. But they look okay. Like a normal person, earphones, phone, distracted, on his way probably home. I don't know what to make of it. I told him that I was going to try to investigate whether or not it was the mages by going myself and hunting.
Right.
So I guess I could do that, and if I find sustenance from somebody else, that would prove nothing.
No. I wonder if this is... Could this be some kind of punishment, forcing him to feed outside the domain?
But what does that have to do with anything? Like, we have fed outside our domains.
Might have a... Well, yes, but perhaps they know little of how it works around here. Perhaps they've got a cruel sense of humour. Forcing Jim to poach.
Oh, you mean the... Oh. Okay, those wizards are naughty.
Yes, that's what I said. It's not exactly.
Speaking of wizards, when are you getting me my wand? I want to mess with Benjamin.
Well, the difficulty with that is, wands are basically skinny stakes, right?
Yeah, but it has to look proper magical, like the Harry Potter ones.
All right. Does Etsy exist yet?
Hey?
Does Etsy exist yet?
Etsy, I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, we'll find something. Okay. In the meantime.
Do you need to feed?
Well, I do.
Am I blood blocking you?
What does it look like?
It looks like I am.
I have a lot on my mind right now. It's true. I was going to wait until we'd heard confirmation about our other little problem.
Okay, our other little problem is costing me a major boon.
I might have a way.
With you know who.
Yes, I might have a way to reduce that for you. I cannot. Can't talk about it here. Yeah, I know. It's wild. But I took to heart what, believe it or not, what Jim said yesterday, and it's true. I have some limited ability in social circles. I did some reconnaissance. That's why I was busy.
Okay.
I have a lot of interesting information to share with you. Again, here is not the best place. There's too many buzzwords.
Yes. So what do we do with our very hungry? I am not able to go on hungry gangrel.
What if we were able to bottle some of what we need and then feed him elsewhere? Like a fucking puppy.
Why don't we try to have him feed inside the domain?
My concern.
The lupines?
Well, yes. I'm hoping that
Also,
it's being dealt with as we speak.
I doubt the issue is resolved. It'll not be resolved tonight.
No.
And I have to talk to Michael.
I need to talk to you first.
Michael Chase.
Yes, I know.
About the boon.
I'd like to speak to you about all this stuff first, but
Okay.
My concern is if this is, who pulling strings on Jim. What if he's fixed it so that, and I'm just speculating here and I'm getting wildly out of hand, but what if it takes stronger stuff to, what if it's to do with, so, my clan.
Like the myths they were saying when the
Like
thin
really
bloods
old
and the
guys.
really old guys feeding on younger
old
vamp.
guys.
He doesn't look that old.
Yeah, but what if our friend has a way to stimulate that?
Ooh.
It's another possibility and not one I really want to be true. Because we don't have a lot of that around.
And
I'm not giving up.
You know what? I have a plan. As usual, I have a plan. How about we do something that Jim will hate and offer to take him to your clan to see what's wrong with him? Because if it's a magical puka puka,
unfortunately, my clan doesn't exactly have a general practitioner consultant open. It's not like it doesn't really have a drop-in service, and
I have no idea how magic works.
it doesn't work quite like that.
Wouldn't your clan be able to tell if it's magic or not?
I could try and run an experiment.
I don't want to keep on hunting so close to the domain where we can be caught.
If we can get maybe underground, just out of sight, I might be able to run a test. It might show nothing at all. Something might come from it. Something I can do myself, just the three of us.
Underground from here?
Just to be out of the way.
Yeah, I know a couple of places. Let's go.
Jim's gonna have to cooperate.
Okay, better. I'll see you fail and try and fail.
Oh, I'll probably fail.
Because-
Absolutely, I haven't. I'll be honest, this isn't something I've tried very much before.
Oh, newbie experiment.
Yes.
It's okay. I'll let them know that you're like a very good practitioner of this blood jutsu. So,
Do you watch anime?
of course,
Have you seen Dragon Ball?
it's a classic. And then on our way to him, I go and there's another one. It's gonna start soon. I think it's called Naruto.
Fuck yeah, man.
It looks okay, but it's like little ninja kids and
I
stuff.
pre-ordered
Escaflowne, you should really watch Escaflowne. And then when we get there, we're
As you're walking out, there's one guy with glasses and a drink. Just goes,
Escaflowne.
I remember that one.
as you guys walk.
Yeah, by the time we get to gym, we're probably full otaku style, talking about Ranma 1/2 and whatever. It's like, Ghost in the Shell. And then we're completely.
And whilst you're saying this, you turn the corner into the alleyway and find Jim still there, still looking as pallid. And I mean, you've seen Jim hungry. This is different.
Jim, I know a way I might be able to help, but I'm gonna need to run an experiment to see if I can find out what's wrong.
I mean, we need to make sure that it is not the booga booga.
There's a high possibility I won't learn anything, but if I can learn something, we might know how to, satisfy you. We're gonna need to head below ground. Worst comes to worst, you might, I'm afraid, have to try and glean a point from whatever rats are left in the area. Because it could well be human specific. That wouldn't seem out of character.
Don't say this thing's making a fucking venture.
Well, it might not, and if it has, my clan might have a way to treat it. And
Told you wouldn't want to hear it. I mean, the only people who know magic in our world are them. I know you don't like them. I know you don't trust them, but
it's either you deal with us or you deal with the mage directly, and I promise you, the mage has far worse things in mind for you than my clan do. At least my clan don't really give a fuck.
I mean, Jim, if it makes you feel better, I already accepted the deal.
This solution is getting your fucking ass out of the hospital.
Well, she's gonna do experiment on me as well. It's the two of us. We need to make sure none of us are under the influence of these.
Then she'll do it with you first.
Okay, cool.
All right, we need to find access. Sewer access, just
Sewer access.
hidden.
Hidden sewer access. Give me a couple of minutes. And I try to remember which one is the entry or exit, the closest one to this area.
Okay,
How many minutes walk?
Do you mind if I borrow the book for a second? Because there might be something to do first.
The what?
The book.
Oh, the book, yeah.
Go.
Sorry, which one's more accessible?
I think Phil's on a mission.
Yeah, Phil's done it. Then what I'm gonna do is gonna try to find an entrance to. I'm gonna make it the tunnel system, not the sewer system. And where we are, I'm very pretty sure that we'll have to walk 2 blocks north and then we'll get into the tunnel system of the old. Like, the orange line tells you where the closed off tunnels are. Oh, this is amazing. Like, Google is great. But a couple of the closed off tunnels, we're gonna go into those.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be one of the entrances or exits that we have pried open for our tunnel system. So probably it's a short walk away, but we would have to.
Right.
It's not immediate.
While you're working out where we need to go, I'm gonna need to feed first, because this is gonna take a strain on me.
Okay, we'll help you out.
Alright. And I'll probably head back into Trillin's.
I go with them. With
Show
her.
the stamp on your hand and go straight back in.
I probably look for the guy in the glasses who was interested. He's already kind of got some curiosity.
Nice.
Okay.
I help her by doing the same, making sure nobody else walks around by talking anime stuff.
Okay.
And I'd probably just try and convince him that I've got some cool Dragon Ball Z merchandise.
This will be.
Charisma persuasion?
Charisma plus persuasion plus 4.
Whoa.
Wow! Turns out Otaku's a weak shit.
There is.
Okay, so starts on 8, then we add 4.
I mean, the difficulty hasn't lowered, but she's got a bonus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I swear, this will be like, I'll have like 2 critical fails in
I think
one
this is
roll.
the biggest dice pool we've had so
Like,
far.
Yeah.
Total best deal fail.
Okay, this might take a while. That's good. There's no terribles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You find him where you left him, and the moment that you kind of appear at his table, he looks up and is surprised to see you at his table. The moment that you start dropping anime references, he's hooked. He's already bought you a drink, and he has a discussion Moses has completely forgotten about. And it's a very, very quick and surprisingly quite easy discussion. He is quite easy to talk to. And before long, it's easy enough for you to guide him somewhere more private to try and feed. How much are you going to take?
I will try and take 2.
Okay, sure. What's your hunger?
My hunger is currently 3.
Okay, so you take 2. You lower it down. It does take a while, but with you keeping an eye out,
That's
it's
all
easy enough
point,
for you to kind of ensure that no one's going to come close.
I will
After
also whisper, forget, before we leave.
Okay, and then you lick the wound close, and then as he wanders off, he just looks at the 2 drinks that he's got and goes,
Yeah, why not have a move?
and just wanders off. A bit more staggering. He probably thinks he's drunk, the way that he's swaying, but he rejoins the rest of the room and goes on wandering. You're feeling considerably better.
Right, well, it's definitely not a location. I'm glad.
So for good, for you it was okay.
Yeah, it seemed to be as normal.
Okay, well it's that way. 10-minute walk. Come on.
Okay.
So, with you guys carrying along a somewhat reluctant Jim, you make your way over towards the access point, keeping an eye out, double checking on the roofs, double checking in the alleys. You are still very much within the regions of your domain, so it's not safe. And this is working, of course, on the assumption that they even know where the limits of your domain are. You know, they could be checking wider, they could be checking less, but you don't know, and the uncertainty is what is driving your paranoia. But you make your way over towards the access point, take off the lid, and when you have a moment, begin descending down, one after the other, with the lid returned over to the top. What do you want to do?
Okay, let's find somewhere reasonably clean, somewhere we can sit. We're gonna be here for a little while.
Is it very involved?
Not incredibly, you can keep watch and be aware.
Okay.
I mean, it's mostly involved from myself. You two... It's probably best, actually, if you keep an eye on Jim.
I know of a place that is fairly quiet and fairly safe, but it's a good 20 minutes walk inside the tunnel system.
That's fine.
We walk.
It's just old service tunnels. I mean,
Okay, that should be fine. The location doesn't matter. I just want to be out of sight and out of the way.
yeah, well, we're already out of
Because
sight.
this is absolutely Masquerade bridging stuff.
Oh. Then we would like to walk actually like a couple of minutes down, so we will be in our own network system inside our
Yes,
domain.
yes.
Let's do that.
That's
yeah.
ideal.
So yes, remember the orange dot. So you just do this, and remain within our domain,
Okay.
which is this area. So
you begin making your way
But
down to
underground.
one of the cleaner.
it's gonna be dusty, and it's not. The good thing is it's not sewers, but it will be
The important thing is that
dusty
it's out of the way.
with stones and rocks and like old construction half ruins. It's dirty.
That's fine. That won't matter. That's all right.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
And Jim, wandering behind you, his movement's very purposeful. His eyes moving towards every sound that he's hearing. I mean, he doesn't look as hungry as Benjamin has, or that he has in the past. You've been hungry in front of them as well, haven't you? No? Then admit that. He's not been as hungry as you've seen him in the
As
past.
I've seen him in the
How
past.
pallid and drawn he looks.
Okay.
But his movements are very predatory. The way he is reacting to every sound, the way his eyes are going. The fact his fangs are out, and that he's moving with them. The fact that he is walking behind you, and every time your pace slows, he slows his own pace, almost as though he's unwilling to march ahead of you, almost as though he wants to maintain distance at your back. And then before long, you bring yourself to the chosen area for this.
Yeah, probably something with a lot better illumination than the one we can provide with our like little torches, because I mean it's not like I carry light sources with me all the time, and this is an abandoned area, so I sort of navigate us through familiar terrain until we get to a place where we can like actually have some lighting.
Okay.
All right. We might as well sit down. Given the time is of the essence, and this might take a little while, I would suggest we should prioritize Jim. That way, if it's inconclusive, you can just try and hunt again. That might just
Is
be worth doing.
that time consuming?
It could take up to an hour.
Well, what time is it? I assume that after the couple of hours,
At this
must be
point,
around midnight,
it's almost midnight.
Midnight. It's like,
The best time.
okay. Okay.
No, that was just me.
I go like, if you want to go with me first, but if it's gonna be an hour each and it's inconclusive for both of us, then that means that both of us have to hunt starting like at 2 or 3, and it's gonna be done early.
Yes, if we probably best off prioritizing who is hungriest.
I'm not hungry again.
This won't tell me anything I don't already know. And
You know what? If he wants to make it difficult, go ahead. I want to make sure that those majors are not after me.
well, I sit down, just clearing the dust out with it, and I take out of my satchel a small silver goblet,
Okay.
and I lay it down in front of me. Okay, I'm going
Some
to
weird
need
stuff. Well, that's cool.
I'm going to need a very small sample of your blood, and you're going to have to deposit it into this goblet.
Okay, cool.
Is it a very small sample, or is it a blood point?
Rich expanse of potato blood, allowing the user to use more details. Blah, blah, blah. Silver cup filled with blood from the subject and the user's own blood. It does say 1 rouse check's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
need to make a rouse check.
For each.
So you're
Both of you.
both of you.
High risk, high reward. You're on 3, right?
So you bite into your
It's not
wrist and
otherwise.
take away the flesh, and
that's
will
what
the
I
blood to begin pouring.
Which will make me hungry, of course.
And it's worth noting that this does not bind me to the person I'm performing the ritual on, or it would be a bit.
Yes, it does make me hungry.
Sorry.
It says that in the text, yeah? It says that in the text, yeah?
I mean, it doesn't say anything about binding or not binding. It just because you mix your own blood with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it should
Yeah.
be fine.
Okay.
Bit shit.
And then
Yeah, it'd be a crappy ritual.
I'm assuming it doesn't, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, Jason, Carl, please correct us if we are wrong.
Yep.
And then I do the same. Make a little slice with my pocket knife. Squeeze it in like an orange. And then I make a rouse check. And it's good. Okay. I have failed every rouse check for weeks. It's cool.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And
All right.
that's pretty much every single one. So,
So
yeah,
I
it's
mix the blood together in the goblet, then put it down in front of me, and then I guess Katia's eyes kind of flutter back a little bit, and she starts kind of muttering over the goblet. And this incantation process takes roughly an hour, so she's just there doing this for a while.
Okay.
And then the ritual. You roll, and then you can learn stuff if you roll it. And it's essentially, it says it expands upon a taste for blood, so I'm assuming it works the same way. So it's resolve plus blood sorcery.
Is that your check or?
This is my check.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they make any checks from sound.
No, that's cool.
They've already donated willingly to the cause.
I just needed to know if penalties were being used.
That's why I said my willpower. Oh yeah, that is
Critical success?
a critical success.
Can you?
But it's these
hold
two.
on.
I've got two
Yeah.
green.
Oh yeah.
that's fine.
So yeah.
Oh.
So that's 4 plus another 2, so 6 successes with a happy critical.
Okay, so
Tell me about Moses.
What does the thing
Alright,
say?
so, and there is a special thing for a critical win.
Ooh.
I don't know why I'm so excited. It's my blood.
Yeah. A win on the ritual roll allows you to learn the generation and the name of the subject as well as the subject's sire.
12th generation.
Do you want to write down the secret note and pass it to us so we don't know?
Yeah, you can make a secret
yeah.
if you like.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
think the name of the sire. It's just the name.
is it the
I
actual
think it's
name
just. I
or
mean,
the
it
name
would
they
be.
go by?
I imagine it'd be their name because it's what is true. I don't know.
The true name. Yeah, true name of Moises.
I will provide that.
Okay,
Yeah.
a critical win also informs the user of any blood bonds active on the subject as regnant or thrall.
Oh.
None, including no wizard thingies.
Actually, no, isn't there?
This will
I
be
think there is one.
good. So
Sorry, there is no connection.
No, not to them. To
Blood bonds?
Alice.
No, it was months ago,
Oh, that
and
was
she gave
blood,
me
wasn't it? Oh, yeah.
and she gave me
Okay.
1 blood point, and I'm not even having foggy.
Okay.
So no
So
blood.
would I be pretty confident that he is probably definitely not linked to the mage?
Oh, you 6 successes. He was bullshitting the whole time.
This is good because this improves my level of trust of Moses.
Yes, yes. And I am happy that she trusts me. Yeah.
Look at him. Right. I mean, I'm not sure how well it worked. I can tell there's a connection. Further than that, I can't be sure. I might get something more next time. It's temperamental magic.
I'm gonna go out for a hunt. Late after we finish with Jim, we should go for a hunt again because I'm starting to feel.
That's fine. I can help. I can help you both. As, I suppose, a kind gesture for agreeing to this. Jim.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. If you want to skip, that's fine.
Okay.
We could do Jim.
No. I wasn't going to skip.
Oh my god.
Vanish.
Oh my god.
my
This looks dangerous.
After 2 seconds, check.
Oh no.
Without opening it, I need you to write the other information she needs on there, fold it again, and then give it to me.
Oh yes.
Oh my god, I like
yes.
this game.
So then all the information should be on there, but you don't see the information that you don't know.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
All right.
Wow, I know things he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Wild. Alright, Jim?
In regards for cooperation, and if we can all agree to try and cooperate more, yes, I will. Okay.
If it's any consolation.
Bollocks.
Oh no, fine, we've done this. We've played this rodeo.
Oh wow.
Okay, then I'm going to do the same.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Nice.
It's all coming up, Katia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to have to take anything more potent or have to drain someone.
There you go. Full true name.
I'll make a note.
The actual name of his sire is also on there.
Okay.
And the full true name of Moses is there.
Yeah, so
Okay.
right at the very centre of it is the name of
Lovely.
his sire.
Alright, so once again she repeats the ritual before eventually, I guess, downing the whole lot.
Does the ritual replenish your blood?
No, it doesn't.
Ah, okay.
So it's-
if not, it
If
would
you
have been.
gain sustenance from it, then I'd be querying the blood bond.
Yes.
That's the whole
Yeah.
point. I don't get anything
Nah.
from that. It's just 6, right? Yeah. Okay, this time 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
4 successes.
And no, I'm not going to reroll because there's a chance I'm going to get a bad crit.
Oh, you have a... Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so same game.
Oh.
Alicia.
Yeah, but this is her full
What
name.
if it isn't though?
Yeah.
Probably her name is like
Oh man, I know her full name.
Rebecca
now.
or something like that.
Okay, so the information. Sorry,
The Vanishing ST does it again.
Yeah.
Obfuscate. Right. So what other information does he give
So
you? Don't open
everything
it.
except the stuff about blood bonds, because that was
Okay,
the
so
crest.
write down stuff like your generation or whatever other information that it gives you.
True
Don't
name.
open it and then give
So
it to.
it's your name and generation, right?
It's his name and Jen.
True
and
name.
His true name and his size true name as well.
Ooh. I bet she's got a really like old-fashioned funny name like Thora or something. Maud.
Petunia.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the first time.
given.
This is the first time I've ever used blood magic. I've just realised. It was literally in season 2. All right.
It's weird how dice begins to scare you.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't pick up on any weirdness.
Oh, from him you do.
Oh yeah. Some weird
Yeah.
juju.
Yes, and it feels abhorrent to you. There is a sensation that his blood within his body is almost quickened. It's almost like it is actually alive in how it's moving, like you'd expect it to be flowing if he were alive.
Shit. Dodge that bullet.
But it's the more you focus on it, the more it's fading. You get the feeling as though it's not as potent as it was.
Eyes snap open. Okay, I might have some good news. Again?
Did you break the spell?
No.
Shit.
I'm not like. No, never mind. Okay, again, I can sense the link. The link is there. However, there was something else, something strange. It's almost as if your blood is being stimulated, as if it's almost as if your metabolism is active. I know it's not, but the good thing is it's fading. So if you try feed again once we get topside, it might be that you can feed as normally. It might have been a limited, like a
So they were
shot of-
experimenting with us.
Quite possibly. It was some kind of experiment, but it's fading now, so if you can feed in the next hour or so, we will help you. Absolutely. It should be fine.
I hope that is plural you. How can we know when they're experimenting on our blood?
I suppose, did you feel anything at all in the last, 24 hours?
Nope. Nothing.
Well, yeah, when you got your critical win, you felt off. You felt an awareness over yourself and the fact that your body didn't feel right. There was something wrong with it.
And when we were escaping from the lupines,
Right.
that was something was wrong.
Well, when we were escaping when? Underground or when we separated and when we split?
Just before.
So about 24 hours then, give or take,
Yeah.
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 roughly.
Roughly. Probably a little bit over actually, because you were about notes. The benefit of. I believe. Of course, notes are helpful when you actually use them and update them. Yeah, it was before about 2 o'clock in the morning, I believe, based on what I've glimpsed. So a little bit over 24 hours.
Right, well that makes sense as to why it's fading. It seems that if that was roughly a similar time yesterday, if you feel that, it probably means that for the next 24 hours feeding is going to be difficult for you.
Oh, okay. So that is, but it's only. I have not felt anything tonight.
It might be.
But last night when we were running, I tried to call on. Well, you remember the last time I called on the rats. How many rats did you see show up?
There weren't many.
Exactly. Last time I did it, that's probably they're messing with my blood.
Right, so the powers of the blood are potentially weakened, and definitely any benefits taken from it are minimised. And we know that it's roughly 24 hours before it wears off, but at least it does wear off. So it might be it was just probing, in which case I suggest we help you feed now.
Let's try it again then. We are not.
You are hungry as well, so you
far,
want to feed now
yes.
as well.
We're actually in a better place to go hunt, given the time of night, because we're actually. If we go out that route, we're gonna have a lot of small streets.
Right, and that if that works for you guys.
All of them in the corner of the domain, so we can argue that we're within our domain by half a block or something.
Yes.
In case anyone's gonna go poacher or whatever.
That sounds good to me.
Let's go.
Let's just do it.
Small alleys.
And who's going first? Are we going to make sure that
Him first, so he doesn't steal my food. Agreed?
that makes perfect sense?
Cool.
Right, Jim first.
I don't want to kill anyone anymore.
Meanwhile,
Oh, you got 0. Shit. Sorry.
she could fail you, Benjamin, as much as she has failed me. Does that not concern you?
Yes, but you keep saying that I failed you before. And you gave me a chance, and now I've proven myself to you. I'm just saying maybe she can be better. And if I'm honest, her blood is, I haven't tasted anyone's like it before. I think it might help me paint.
Make
A bullshit roll.
I don't know if that's true. If I think that's completely untrue, then I'll.
charisma plus persuasion plus 2.
Oh, good.
You're not bullshitting him.
Oh, hang on.
Channel your inner
Oh no,
Katia.
technically he got a disgracia from her.
Yeah.
No.
He's
I
got
did.
He's
You
got a
did,
dysgraphia, yeah.
I'm assuming it's something vaguely
Like
paint related.
or
I'm guessing.
very
No,
insane.
yeah, it tastes potent. I mean, the only
Okay.
thing that's more potent than this is when you drank from Edmund.
Okay. 1. Oh, hang on. I can spend a willpower point. Wait. I've got 1 dice. I can re-roll. No, 1.
Why? Roll the same die, roll another one. I don't know, roll one of these.
Hang on.
Amelia. Benjamin will be looking after you now.
I'm sorry.
He is important to me. You both are, but I will know if you upset him. And I don't forget, Amelia. You could have been beautiful. Maybe one day you still will be. But I trust Benjamin. And I'm expecting incredible developments in your art, Benjamin.
Yes.
Goodbye, Amelia. And he takes a step back, and the moment she kind of looks up at him and then looks around to you, she gets up out of the car, kind of uncertain, and she flinches away from from Edmund just as he reaches out, and then he observes the flinch, looks at her for a moment, and then touches her on the side of the cheek. She's all yours, Benjamin.
Thank you, Edmund. Do you want to lift back to the gallery?
No, I rather fancy a walk.
Thank you, Edmund. Thank you. I think this is going to make a real difference.
Amelia. Don't ever come to my gallery again. Good evening to you both.
Good evening.
I rolled one fucking success.
And he was the initiating one.
The second time I rolled one success.
Oh.
There must be one.
You were the one actually. Oh, so sorry about that. I got overly enthusiastic and then I just exploded into Spanish, going like, "Come on, bro, we got this." And sorry, I interrupted
So,
at the moment.
I will
Ow, my elbow.
look at Amelia. Yeah. So, this is awkward. I know that we don't know each other. Has that been gone, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say.
Cool.
So should we get back in the car? Is that all right?
Do we have to?
No.
I'd much prefer being outside of the car if you don't mind.
Of course.
Thank you.
Well, we don't know each other very well, but you've always been nice to me, and I know that he's so very passionate about everything that when he gets upset, things can get broken, even things that he loves.
I know.
I know too.
No, you don't. I need to sit down if I can. Not in the car, but I need to.
Of course. We'll find somewhere.
She walks ahead of you, and she's very rigid in how she's moving.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a part of you that thinks, there's the predatory part of you that thinks she's preparing to run.
Yeah.
But if she does, I know I can catch her. And it's just a fleeting remark inside your brain as you're watching her move. But she doesn't. She just keeps walking until she finds a bench and then just descends down onto it. And she's as rigid as she was when Edmund was sat next to her.
Okay.
And she just watches the cars moving.
I'll sit. I won't sit down back like next to her on the bench, but I'll sit down on the same bench, kind of give her a bit of space. So I haven't really done this before, but I thought that it would be better for you not to be with him, and that was the best thing I could think of.
You're the reason I'm alive tonight.
I thought that might be the case.
There was a reason. Danielle took me out.
Yes. She probably knew.
She did. She told me what he'd do. Thank you for stopping him.
I don't know if this is the right time, but we need to talk about what we do next. I mean, how this is going to work.
Do me an intelligence plus occult.
Occult?
Occult.
Yeah.
Almost certain that I don't have any occult. Okay.
I'll tell you what.
So no, fine. I don't
No,
mind
the
it.
difficulty will flex, but I will let you choose the skill, either politics or occult.
No, occult's fine. All 2 successes.
2.
Yeah.
You know more about the blood bond than you know about convincing your sire. How does that feel?
Well,
No, it's the ability to convince rather than. I have all the personal skill of like a wet towel. Whereas I do actually. He's not an idiot.
The thing is, you have not seen Amelia out in any of the locations or in any of the roles that you would expect a ghoul to be in.
Do I know that she's a ghoul? I don't.
But she is clearly aware of
Yeah.
the supernatural because you just fed on her
Yeah.
quite openly and she didn't seem to react to it.
Yeah.
However, the more you think on it, the more you think she's not a ghoul. You don't think you've ever seen Edmund feed her, and you've certainly not seen her a dote on Edmund. She's had genuine fear of him, and she's
Yeah.
never been as... You've never seen jealousy
Yeah.
whenever you've been with Edmund. In fact, she tends to try and stay as far away from him as she can.
Okay.
So the more you think on it, I mean, you don't know blood bonds very well, but you think that...
Yeah, she wasn't.
You don't think that you ever have, and it's kind of like it's like having the knowledge of the blood bond, but in no way do you ever account any of that detail to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you're
Why would I?
Yeah, I know, but it's like
Yeah. Okay.
you come to the conclusion that you're fairly confident in
Okay.
is that she's not a ghoul,
Say to her,
which technically makes her a masquerade witch.
okay. Oh dear. I'll say, because there are quite a few things we need to discuss. I don't know if this is the right time. I don't know whether you want to just get it all done or whether you want a bit of time to...
What done?
Well, I mean things like where you're going to live and how this is going to work, because I think the thing is that if
I can't go back to my house.
I have a place you can stay. That's not a problem. I just wanted to talk to you about what you... There are certain things, I'm looking ahead to problems that we're going to have and how we can avoid those problems. As you know, I'm a little new at all of this, but I do know there are certain things that have to be done a certain way or very scary people get very angry with potentially both of us. And so I want to avoid that happening because I'm really not into people getting angry at me or you.
You mean the masquerade?
Yes. That's one of the things. And the other thing is, I think you really do have to stay around, because if you were to, let's say, get on a bus and vanish to, I don't know, Scotland, that, well, we would both be in a lot of trouble, and that sooner or later that trouble would catch up with both of us. Does that seem reasonable as an assumption? Yes. So I hope at least I can offer you a much better lifestyle than you've had recently.
The words feel hot on your lips. You're coming dangerously close to suggesting that Edmund's not provided for her. It's not limiting what you're saying.
Yeah,
These
okay.
are thoughts that are slowly...
Okay, I'll say not to say. I mean, it obviously is a privilege to know him and to work with him, but I also know that. Well, I suppose it's, if you'll forgive the pun, it's a little bit like being close to the sun. You know, it can be also very dangerous, and I understand you've worked with him a long time. And anyway, sorry, I'm talking too much. What I mean is, if there are things I can do to make your life easier, then I will try and do them. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Can you drive me home so I can get my things?
Of course. Yes. You said you can't be seen to go. You can't go home. Is there a reason? Is there something I should know?
No, he knows where I live.
Oh, well, he also knows where I live. Do you need another place to stay that he doesn't know about? All right. So that's one of the things we'll have to arrange. All right. Because he did seem very angry, and I know that when he gets angry, things can happen. So we'll make sure you're not in a place he knows. Yes. All right. All right.
People wander by and she quickly rights herself as they wander past, and resets herself. And it's both remarkable and yet not surprising just how quickly she can make herself appear composed. And there's a treacherous thought that goes through your mind that you think, is it really that surprising that she's able to... And then the moment you feel it, you think that you feel bad. But it's there.
I'll say to her as we're going to the car, assumedly. So we'll find a. You can always stay in a hotel if you want tonight, but we'll find a place you can stay. You know, I'll deal with the rent and things. Do you have money of your own, or
Why?
why?
Why are you doing this?
Well, because we both have done our best, our very best, to make him happy over the years, and I saw what happened. You know what happened when he was angry. Even though he loved those things, he destroyed them, and I knew he'd do the same to you, and I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't bear it, and
She turns and moves over to the car, opens the passenger door and just gets in, and then closes it. She does not put our seatbelt.
okay, I'll get in. I'll say you. Where should I drive?
I don't know.
What about your house? Don't we need to go there and get your things?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And she whittles off the address. It's not too far actually from Edmund's gallery, which is not really surprising.
Yeah.
And she gets more uncomfortable the closer you get to the gallery. I assume you're going there, or are you?
Is it possible to drive so that we, like, if that's the gallery and that's our house, rather than driving like past the gallery to a house, to go round so we get to a house?
It takes
first?
a bit longer, but even in close proximity, she's uncomfortable. She's looking around as you'd expect her to. She's very reminiscent, actually, of how you were when you were expecting to be followed. Very recently. But when you get to the house, she immediately gets out of the car, bolts for her door as quickly as she can without actively running. Double checking, almost like she's expecting to see Edmund on her street. Opens the door and goes inside. You see lights flicker on. First in the bottom floor and then on the top floor. And then into another room. And then she comes down and appears at the door. And then as she's pulling the door, she stops, looks up at the lights, and then just shuts the door and leaves them.
So she's left the lights on?
She's left them. And goes back into the car. She opens the door, sits in, with the seatbelt still off, and just sits there with her bag. It's quite a small bag. She doesn't have a lot that she brought with her, but she just sits.
I'll say, if you want in the future, and if you need things from your house, I can always go for you. If you if you don't mind me going in, I'll start driving away from Edmund's gallery.
Okay. She doesn't say anything else.
Say, does it look very much like she has a travel bag?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Wow, I really hope she doesn't run away. That would be awful.
Yeah, well, it's not like a travel bag, but
Yeah.
I mean, if she's expecting to run away, she is taking a very small amount of things with her.
I'll say
It's certainly not enough to have like multiple changes of clothes.
I'll say so. As I say, I'm very happy to just give you some time. I know it's been a very traumatic evening for everyone, but if there are things we should probably discuss. So obviously, where you staying somewhere he can't find you is one thing. The fact that you know what you know is another. And there is also a personal matter I'd like to raise, but it can wait. It's not. I don't think it's urgent. I hope it's not urgent. And obviously, I need to know what you need and want. I mean, apart from a place to stay, you know, we need to talk about how this will work and what you want to do and that kind of thing.
Not yet.
Okay, of course. So shall I just take you to a hotel for now?
Yes, please.
Do you have a means of reaching me? So if I give you my number, you can always call me from the hotel. Yes? All right.
She starts crying again, but turns her head away from
Okay. If she's
But you can see in the reflection in the windview mirror that the composure that she's managing to maintain, that keeps sliding in and out, is now pretty much exhausted.
Okay.
And she just stops speaking.
All right, I'll stop speaking as well. I'll be very British about it. Everything's fine. Just drive along. So what I'm thinking about is, do I have enough cash on me to pay for a hotel for a night? And if
For a night, I mean, London hotels are pretty expensive, but you could find something that you can put her up for a night. It's enough.
I'm more meant whether I had to get cash out.
I imagine that Benjamin being quite...
he probably keeps a little, for when he gets mugged, you know, to give a sufficient amount to not
it's always used to having, money on you just in case you need to, public transport just in case something happens to your car.
Yeah, well, you never know, do you?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I'll take her to a hotel, and give her the money. I'll say hopefully that's enough.
It will do, thank you.
And make sure she's got my number. And I'll say to her, and if you can get in touch with me tomorrow night, and we can see where we are then.
What time?
What? Well, you call me when you're ready. As long as it's not very early in the morning. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. And obviously, if anything goes wrong, or you need more money, or there's anything, just call. That's fine. All right.
She turns and starts making her way in.
Right. I better call the coterie.
Okay.
So we'll start with Moses. Actually, call Moses.
Beep, beep, beep.
It's a bit worrying.
Beep,
Try Katia.
beep, beep,
Try Jim.
beep, beep.
Oh. Okay, so I'm going to drive back to the coterie. Obviously, I appreciate it's a 3-minute cutaway, but I'm going to drive back with the intent that when I get within walkie-talkie range, I'll start trying that as my backup option.
Okay, so
The three of us are underground.
Oh, I don't know.
Have I still got the walkie-talkie?
I
'Cause
think
had
you
it for
do.
those-
Well, probably because since you slept in the chantry, you took your
Oh God, yeah,
things.
you've just done like 2 hours of rituals, haven't you?
Yeah. So we're
that's why they're still under there.
Yeah.
and we're in the
I
tunnels.
mean, technically, she's there doing her whole ritual thing,
yeah.
and then you could just hear this really annoying beep, beep.
Turn fucking phone off while you do blood magic, guys.
Because the only one that starts getting signal is Moses, and he's very quick to go.
Sorry.
It's like someone that has their phone ring in the cinema. Or a theatre, that's even worse. So, we'll cut back to you guys then. You're making your way back to them.
Right.
Okay, as we make a move to leave, Jim's going to go. Before we leave, in since we came together, in my way, I've been trying to protect you as just part of the country. Yes, I know I've been screwing it up, but I've been doing my best. So with that, Ben still has no idea about the lupines, so we need to get that. Another thing we need to cover that, because yeah, they catch him, he's definitely dead.
It's fine. We will deal with Ben once the current issue is resolved.
And so in trying to picture, that's why man was scorched.
Well, he contacted me earlier and he sounded alright. In fact, he sounded better than he did when I spoke to him yesterday. So I can only assume he's with his sire and he's safe.
Yeah. Well, I saw his sire earlier.
Oh, yes, his sire's a fucking lunatic, of course.
Yeah.
But
No, what are you talking about? He's such a wonderful man.
fuck off, Moses.
I'm not joking. Like, I only met him once at court, and he was, nice and decent, and respectful.
Yeah, he is
Either way,
definitely mad.
they have a connection, so I'm pretty sure he's safer with him than with lupines anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a blood bond, but not so good for Ben.
Let's sort you out. And I'll probably look to Moses because Moses is the expert on the area and where's the best place to hunt.
Basically, we're going to more alleys and stuff.
Okay.
Not many options unless you think a Nando's is open at 2 a.m. And no offense, but I know the McDonald's is a couple of blocks away, but it's not like
Probably should avoid the McDonald's.
I don't want to go there.
I mean,
We can
not
always
used to
try
it.
the homeless around
I
the
know.
mall.
It always feels so. But it might be the best shot we have.
Oh, and well, have you had a lot of alcohol than before? Because the homies tend to.
But yeah, I remember you were
Among other
drunk
things.
once.
It's alright, we'll look after you.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
just get it over with. Let's get something in your
Let's
system.
go. Yeah, probably look for
And I need quite a bit.
in the area, small streets where either close to where what's the name of the Blue Butterfly, the butterfly shopping center that is in the area, like not in the main streets and not in the center, but in the side streets, like around that general area where you would either find
Anyone
people
skulking
skulking
or
or people sleeping like homeless, and because they probably sleep nearby zones of high traffic, so when they wake up they just move nearby and have places to either.
On the other hand, we might find someone who actually deserves it for once.
Okay.
That would be nice.
Who's leading this?
Not me.
Not the hunt, the manoeuvring to position.
Oh, the maneuvering around the area? Probably me.
Probably. I mean, I've never really got any streetwise or stealth or any of that jazz.
No, I'm just trying to cover our butts. It's like, okay, let's someone there and someone here, so we have these 3 angles covered, and where people who come from, wait a couple of minutes. If it works, we feed. If not, we rotate, move to a different street. Like, we're casing it slowly. We're
Okay. I need you. I'm going to get all 3 of you to roll. It'll be wits plus stealth. It's going to be the majority, so basically as long as at least 2 of you pass,
Okay.
I'll count this as a success.
That's 1 success.
Oh wow.
How about 5 successes?
I've got 2.
Okay. So you begin making your way back around to this area, and as before, you don't notice anyone observing you. But then also, most of your attention is also navigating to avoid the cameras, making sure that the kine aren't paying too much attention, and eventually you manage to get to where you need to. So what is going to be your method of approach for this?
Right now we're looking for, like, first one is going to be easy pickings. So if at 2 a.m, either someone passed out, drunk, or asleep, or homeless.
So you're looking for someone that's asleep.
Yeah, easy pickings
Or
for
just
that.
alone.
Yeah, or just like on their lonesome, sitting on a side, like half drunk or with a cigarette or
Okay.
whatever,
So-
like right now it's like literally easy pickings.
And you said you're leading this.
Yes.
Dexterity plus stealth with a +2 because you've got there help.
+2. It's okay. Got it. That is willpower.
Willpower.
That is 3 successes. That was a lousy roll and lousy expenditure of willpower. Yes, 3
You
successes.
know the next sentence that's going to come out of his mouth, don't you?
Roll for humanity.
I'm not that predictable.
No, it's that you can succeed at a cost.
Yeah.
Damn it. No, I can't say that.
And that means that that's basically my last leg on willpower. I cannot spend more willpower unless I want to be completely and utterly how do you call it?
Fucked again?
Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
Okay.
I like fucked again.
I will let you succeed at a cost.
Yep.
Hush you. But essentially, it's going to be feeding on someone with relevance to the coterie, but it's not someone you've met.
That sounds juicy.
If we haven't
feed on the
met
mage.
them,
Oops.
He's met the mage.
well, I've met like a gazillion people in the geriatric section saying that there was a smiling man.
Do
Do it. Story prompt.
No. I think if we don't know them yet, I would go. I would give the green light. I would say, Delta team, go, and then you just like basically because it feels like that. And I'm hoping for everything to be like smooth and taking 1 point of blood, maybe 2, making them forget. It's like we're gonna try and make it neat,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
self-contained.
Self-contained hunger for feeding is going to be great.
Yeah.
Where the hell's my page gone?
I think I'm just here to fire, like, to basically do the Men in Black kind of neuralizer.
I thought you
That's
were.
what I'm
I thought
here for.
you were there to just look really unimpressed with
That
the
too.
shit
I'm
show
here to
that was going
judge
to
them.
unfold. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
I'm
You
judgment.
Like they might forget, but you won't.
okay?
We can hit you too.
You're wandering through the various alleyways trying to find someone, but most of the people that you are observing are either conscious and in a place where they can be observed, because most of them are, begging and they're trying to put themselves in a position where they're close to shop fronts or similar. So it's hard for you to kind of get close enough and unobserved. However, one particular person does take your interest in that they are further down the alleyway. But it's not as you are observing this individual, it's not the actual homeless individual that takes your interest. It's rather the woman that is there further down the alleyway with a camera just taking pictures. And then as she kind of wraps her the sling around her arm, get to steady the camera, she takes another picture and then stands up and begins looking through them. And then she moves over to some of the boxes where this homeless individual has housed himself and begins taking more pictures. And the way that this individual moves is quite clear that they are a practice photographer. You begin advancing, seizing a window in which you can
They're taking pictures of
the homeless
the homeless.
and when she's checking her camera, which is when you get the opportunity and you step up behind her and bite down. How much you?
No, it does.
We were going Jim first.
Oh, Jim.
It's going for
How
Jim.
much are you going to try and take?
Try and take 2.
Oh Jesus Christ!
What's your hunger?
Eat your sister.
4.
It's not my sister.
Okay.
Make a willpower check.
But I know it.
Willpower plus of the humanity.
Don't eat it.
1.
Ay, su madre.
Good luck, guys.
It's alright, we've got 2 of us here to pull him off.
I'm gonna say some deja vu here.
Okay. If you try and pull him off and fail, you will risk being hurt by him, because the moment he starts feeding,
Can I try something else?
you can try.
Can I try and forget on him?
Okay,
So
but if you
he-
fail, there will be a retaliation from him, because he is technically now about to enter hunger frenzy.
I mean, I did see his blood, so. Alright, I probably see this happening and.
Is
So I will allow you both one attempt to stop him.
Guess I'll go first because mine's a slightly less messy approach.
Yeah.
Forget.
Okay.
And that is the is it
It's charisma
dominate?
plus dominate.
Against.
I think it's resolve.
Plus intelligence. Intelligence plus resolve. I can look for it.
Well, that's certainly the resist for mesmerize. I think it might be forget.
Yeah, someone can just double check for me.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Oh.
You know?
It's okay, I haven't nailed
At
it.
least you can't willpower it.
Yep.
Whew. I should just say all my willpower for dealing with these two.
Charisma, wits plus resolve.
Wits plus resolve.
It's plus resolve.
Charisma plus dominate versus wits plus resolve.
Okay, folks.
Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
You better not critical win this one and after failing miserably a willpower roll.
Yep.
Yeah, here we go.
Boing. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Oh, good.
That's 3.
4. Okay. As your eyes begin to flicker, you note first the way that his hands grip. And the fingers, while they don't elongate to the degree that you've seen before, they seem to shift and ripple. And then the way that his mouth kind of opens and then relatches into the same holes that were created before, but almost like he's gone from just puncturing to now performing a vice-like grip, like a dog that's afraid that they're going to have their food taken from them. And the moment you see this, you step in, and before his eyes snap shut, you get as close as you can, make eye contact, and say forget. And then all of a sudden, his eyes roll, and there's the briefest of seconds where you think that he is lost to the beast, and you're almost anticipating a swipe or a growl or something similar. And then his eyes just open, and his mouth unlatches. His fangs are still bared, and her throat is still exposed, and she's still bleeding.
Does it work if I lick the wound shut, or does it have to be the person who made it?
You can try.
Oh, I want to cut his fucking tongue off. Is it more to do with the saliva?
Yes.
Can I just like wipe my hand over his mouth? Just like, this is fucking disgusting. And just.
He has no saliva.
Oh, do they not use it as
No,
they
they
feed?
have no body.
Fluid, no bodily fluids. It's pretty much as supernatural
He has
of
to
the
lick
rest of our own lives. He has to actively lick it.
What state is he actually in at this
He
point?
hasn't recovered any. The moment he tastes blood, he lost his willpower.
Oh, so he hasn't actually fed at all.
You stopped him before you started draining her at all. On the plus side, she hasn't lost any blood. But she is still bleeding from the neck. Because he's obviously punctured her.
I can't remember how it works. Does he have to resist frenzy again? Or he have to...
If he tries feeding again, he would.
Moses, you take this one. Do not fuck up.
Drink? Do you mean
Yes,
drink from
because
her?
if you bite it down and create the same wound and then lick it shut,
It will probably not work, but I'll try.
something will close.
I will very, very gingerly try.
Look how happy he looks.
You have to feed anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is.
He can lick the wound closed himself before you
I
start.
don't want him to taste blood again. Not quite yet. He needs to calm down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because trying to puncture the exact same points is going to be hard. You're going to create a wider wound. Especially given the misshapen mouth that you
Alright,
have.
hold
Oh
on.
yeah, mine is different. I create like
That's
a
an
gazillion of
excellent
little
point. That's an excellent point.
like
okay.
with big ones and a lot of little ones.
Just hold your
one
hand
No,
over it.
I am
Hand over it.
like
Okay, I want to try and calm down Jim then.
Okay.
Jim. Come on, this has happened before, but you've got this. We've done this. You've done fine since then. Just come on. Come around, and then just. It's still there, but you're gonna have to chill. Can I mean, would this require, I guess, a persuasion roll of some kind to try and calm him down? Or is it
Yeah,
just.
I'll let you make a charisma plus persuasion. If you succeed at the difficulty that I will make equal to his frenzy difficulty. If you succeed, I'll give him bonus dice when he next feeds.
Okay, let's try, guys. Hold that wound.
Can I be like holding the one like this?
It's not working.
make a willpower roll.
Forget it. I'm just messing with you.
I'm just like snapping between these two. Like,
Hey, I'm not that hungry. I'm just messing.
Rawr. Okay, 1, 2. Jesus Christ, that was a typical roll. I'm gonna willpower. That's 2 successes. Plus 1 more, so 3 successes.
Okay, that's what you needed.
Oh, thank God for
You will
that.
get a additional 1 when you make your roll.
Right.
Because, normally it's a check, you should get additional dice for.
Right.
So, Moses, you are holding in. It's not an arterial spray, but it's still a vein, so
Yeah.
it's still.
Yeah, because the
not
vein's a little weaker than the
yeah.
artery.
No, yeah, I am just.
Yeah. So
holding
she's
it
still
there.
groggy, and she is losing balance in her legs as she is now.
Oh no,
guiding you down.
I take her
Yeah.
down. It's like, shh.
But someone needs to do something soon, otherwise
Okay.
I need to start
Jim,
doing checks.
Come here.
Go again, this is why we work together.
Just lick. Just lick. We'll find somebody else.
You're going to try and drink. So willpower and then +1.
So are you drinking, or are you going to try licking the wound shut?
He's desperate to drink.
Okay, so you're going to bite her in a second place.
Well, yeah, he's going to try and drink from the same wound.
Lick
Hey,
the
mate.
freaking.
It's going to be hard.
wound.
And this seems like a minor detail, but when it results in the death of someone, it's kind of...
Lick the wound.
Lick the wound then.
Okay, I need the check from you. But I'll count this as the whole feeding check.
So willpower.
It's willpower +1.
That
That's
is
better.
4 successes.
Okay. The moment that you taste the blood, you feel that pain in your gut intensify, and you feel your fangs, if it's possible, even lengthen, and you feel your claws begin to tighten, but it's only by sheer
Don't fuck up.
the voice of Katia in your head saying, please don't fuck up, and the inevitable tongue lashing you're going to get if you do, manages to resolve you. And the moment you've licked the wound and the skin seals over, you bite down, again finding the vein, and the blood begins filling. You recover 2 hunger.
Yep.
And this time, licking the wound closed is immediate. She's unconscious on the ground with that camera beside her.
Okay, try and make sure she's comfortable.
Yeah.
What about the homeless chap who was here as well? Is he unconscious?
Yeah, he's asleep.
Moses, do you need or do you mind?
I take supper.
You're...
Supper from this homeless guy.
Okay.
Can I drink 2, please?
What's your hunger?
3.
Okay. Yeah. So, it doesn't taste particularly nice, but...
I drink out of Rick and Morty's grandparents. It's not homeless.
No, I mean,
guy.
like-
He's gonna taste a lot.
the fabric you have to bite through to get into... he's wrapped up quite solidly. But the vitae, it doesn't matter where the hell it comes from, it tastes good. But with fabric in between your fangs,
Yeah, it's good.
you bite down and you begin taking the blood. So you'll recover 2.
Done. I'm happy.
Right.
Happy camper.
Excellent. Now let's go. Where are we going?
I could do with another because I hate this shit. Done.
You know what? Look, I know my face, my real face doesn't show it, but I still bear the marks of your very friendly fist to my face. I have not healed it because I'm not a fucking idiot that goes around healing his damage when he's hungry.
I suggest we focus on healing once we have our home back.
And we are.
Is there somewhere that we can go? Have you got a safe place we can go?
Yeah, we can go to my flat.
'Cause we
My
need to
condo.
talk.
My condo, yeah.
Can we get Ben? Can we contact Ben on the way?
Check my phone, anything from Alicia or anything. What do I see?
The moment you pull your phone out,
It's like, let me see if you know who texted.
bzzzt,
Who is it?
Alicia.
It's literally, like,
Who must not be named?
The moment your hand
speak of the
touches
devil.
phone.
Like, yeah, let me see if he, yeah. Hello?
It's done.
No. Oh, done?
They should
Thanks.
have left within the next hour, I'd assume.
Oh, thanks, girl. You rock. Like, I owe you. Well, you know I owe you.
Oh, yes, I do.
I owe you, okay. An hour, you say?
Yes, I don't recommend you make yourself known to them in that time.
Oh no, definitely not. Quick question. And then, I assume you gotta go, right? When can I see you again?
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe a couple of days, maybe sooner. I'll let you know.
Cool.
I'll call you, don't call me.
No, I don't call. I won't
She
call.
hangs up.
Okay. Thanks, Alice. Bye. Alice put in the word with Deacon Rose and the Anarchs, and a group of them, of her friends, patrol the area, just in case there were actual lupines.
You have a name with the annex?
Alice owed me a favor. She pulled her strings.
Alright.
I mean, she'll do anything for me. So, yes, I will do it.
Yeah. Manipulation plus.
Yes, I am on it. I'm already on
It's
it.
gonna really stay quiet in the
This is-
background.
This will be wits plus insight. Or intelligence plus insight.
That's 4 successes.
Cool.
4 successes.
Yep. You buy it.
It's Alice. She owed me a favor, but either way, I mean,
When am I gonna meet Alice? Seriously,
actually, that's why I was asking her when I was gonna see her again, because I mean,
yeah, we should know our friends, right?
well, actually, she was at the domain a couple of days ago.
Yep. Well, I remember seeing it before, where shortly after you had.
Oh yeah,
Jake.
my shoveling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
let's. She said that, according to her friends, they saw nothing, but they still want to do one last sweep. So we shouldn't go to the Haven until maybe an hour or so. So why don't we, since we're already around the area, just walk around outside our domain and wait. Just sit tight. It should be done. I should be hearing from her.
It's taken you a very slow, cautious circuit of going around the edge of your domain. Very, very cautious. I mean, you're Benjamin, you drive cautiously anyway, but it's finally, by making these slow rounds, distinctive Katia standing out between someone that looks like someone you've never met before, so you're probably guessing it's got to be Moses, given how close they are speaking to one another. And a still slightly pallid, although you've settled your compulsion now, Jim, you managed to locate them as you.
Well, I'll probably pull up alongside wherever they are and wind down the window.
Your powers really are impressive.
Oh, yeah.
What
Thank
hours?
you.
What happened?
He just showed up. No one told him where we were. I was being nice.
I was looking for you, all.
Good.
Excuse me,
Oh, hello.
Rob Thomas.
Rob. I'm Benjamin. Hello, nice to meet you.
It's me, Moses.
Oh,
Does he have her in his car?
No, she's at the hotel.
The hotel, right?
How are you feeling?
maybe this isn't a on the street conversation.
No.
Did you want to get in the car?
Yes, let's
Yes,
get
there's
in
a
the
lot
car.
of conversations to be had.
Yes, no.
Why don't we go and just drive around the area for a while?
All right.
Maybe you want to fill up your tank.
Yes, it's always good to have a full tank.
Yeah.
I'll drive to. I'll start driving. So, there is something I'd like to ask first, if that's all right.
Yeah?
Why did we all have to run away yesterday? Well, no. What? Yes. Why was that?
Do you know what a boon is?
Yes, it's what we had to. It was a favour, and that's why we had to go into the Warrens, was to help.
It's kindred currency.
Yes.
Okay, so what would you say if I told you that werewolves were in our domain?
Well, you told me about werewolves before. I don't know why I didn't think werewolves would be in towns for some reason.
They're
Yeah,
not usually, especially with kindred nearby.
Well, is that what we were running away from?
Yes, and now I have pulled every favor I had and even got into owing boons for it. but I got people to check out the area and make sure that there are no lupines here.
Did they check the rooftops?
It was a big group.
Good, because one of them I think was following me. I think it was, well, I didn't see it very well, but I could feel, it didn't feel like anything else.
I'm very pleased you got away.
I'm assuming you're all in the car.
Yeah, we're driving the car.
You all pulled off. Yeah, cool.
I'll say,
Wait. When you were leaving yesterday.
one of them tried to follow me.
Okay, it's
very scary.
It is most likely one of the because when I when I saw the first one, I was talking to one of them, but I was masked, and then I saw the second one, and that's how I recognized it, and that's when I started like going back and calling and making sure. But then when you saw people that you said you better go out the back.
Yes, there were those people that were watching us. They were sitting on the bench, but they weren't the. I don't think that was the one on the rooftop.
Was it a guy with a beard?
Yes.
You know, kind of hot.
Yes, that's.
And
I mean,
and
he was.
girl with
To be
short
honest,
hair.
he was a little rough
Not your
for my
type,
taste.
not your
Come
type.
on.
Yes, but he,
Ruggedly handsome. That's what you want to say.
I suppose so.
You prefer ponytails.
I'm really not in the mood tonight, actually.
Sorry.
To be honest.
Okay, the other was it a girl, short hair, like very very short?
There was a girl with very very short hair that followed me, but she wasn't a werewolf. She was a vampire.
Well, I knew something was odd about those, but
Was she wearing an old kind of dress, like dungaree dress thing?
No, she had the trench coat and she had her hair in a
Yes.
ponytail.
Oh, she had. I thought she. Oh, but it was shaved.
No, the one that was short, the shorn one, was the
Yes.
werewolf.
Okay.
I'll say no. She wasn't wearing that. She had a
Okay,
trench coat.
then
thing.
that's good.
Okay, so we had another. What was that kindred doing in our domain?
They were trying to help me not get killed by the werewolf, I think. Or whatever it was.
Okay,
We didn't know
okay.
what it was at the time.
In that case, that's fine.
Oh, yes, no, they were friendly. It's fine.
I'm just glad you're okay. It's honestly a relief to have everyone in one place without any major disasters.
But basically, now we owe boons for people making sure that from now on, those lupines don't show up.
So, why were the lupines? I mean, what? Do we know why they were there, or would they
No.
just? So.
Not really.
Shit. Forgot. I was trying to protect you, but we agreed on no more lies.
Yeah, we did.
They were looking for Jim.
Yeah, apparently so.
That. Why were they looking for you?
The only possible reason I could think of is because, well, as I've said to the night I met my sire, very same night I met her,
Yes.
I hit a werewolf with my car. Because I had a car back then.
So you ran over a werewolf and now.
Not over into, because it's hazy what I saw, but they get fucking big. They get, think bear.
All right.
In any case, there
Bigger
seems to
than a
be
bear.
some manner of a grudge. And
Well, that's understandable.
yes.
So we should be safe.
Yes.
And when I say should be safe, it's like there is absolutely no reason that for those guys to remain, because I also
So-
made it look like Jim was gone.
I see. So.
Because who lives in our haven is Roy, not Jim.
Oh yes, no, I
Wood,
remember you were very
Roy.
clear on that fact.
So I made sure to give that information to my friends, and they distributed
Yes.
information.
So these werewolves were hunting for Jim, but now they've gone.
Yes. The problem was
Yeah.
they
Right.
have a true deep hatred against all of our kind. If they'd encountered any one of us, we would have been killed on sight.
Oh well, I'm glad that I didn't get caught then.
Yes, definitely.
And back to the boon conversation. Now we all owe boons.
And I need to talk to you, ideally privately, to discuss this, since boons are mostly what we do. And
Yeah.
But, well-
It's
Well, sorry. Why do we all owe boons? What's going on? I don't understand that.
because it was either that or not being able to come back to our domain because of the lupines.
Which, wouldn't have.
Minor, because I agreed on all of us using very small boons instead of this would have been like a major or life or death kind of situation.
Intelligence plus politics.
Me. You always make me do this when I'm driving a car, then.
I know, right?
Oh!
Messy critical.
Yeah, because I've got hunger dice. Oh, hang on. Intelligence plus.
Politics.
Oh, that politics. Yeah. So miss crit.
Okay.
Also, is this what you told me already? Or did you just said that you were the only one who owed the boon and then we had a conversation?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
so
am.
I know
I am
that you're
owing.
lying.
Yeah, I am owing a big boon,
Yeah.
and I am transferring part of that boon to the rest of my coterie because I
I
sorted.
mean, I already agreed to a minor to you anyway.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
Didn't know. Yeah.
No, based on the discussions that you've had and little bits and pieces that you've overheard, and you overhear a lot. The boon you have to agree to.
Yeah.
You don't know what boon.
I'm gonna pull over somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Somewhere that's convenient. And I'll say, you just said no more lies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not true. I haven't agreed to any boon. You have to agree to boons. That's the truth. Isn't it?
That's a process.
No, that's the truth. You have to agree to boons.
Yes.
Truth is important. And you've just said no more lies. So no more lies. I haven't agreed to anything.
Understood.
So if you want me to owe a boon, then that's something I will have to agree to. You can't just make boons on my behalf.
I did not make a boon on your behalf. I took a boon and I'm transferring part of it to the rest of the coterie because it affects us all.
You mean you have taken a boon and you want us to take some of that boon for you? That's different.
Yes.
That is different. It's not the truth. We have to be honest and it has to be true. It's very important.
You want honesty? How about this? The next time you're next on the line, I will not stick mine until you agree you want my help. How's that for a boon? I constantly put my neck out for the rest of you. Every single time. You haven't caused any trouble, Benjamin, but trust me, one day you will.
Yes, that's true.
The point is there was no time.
I do not seek permission to fix what has been broken. So yes, you don't want to have a boon. I respect that because there is a tradition. But understand that whenever I say that I have a boon that I took because of all of you,
No, I mean...
all of us.
No, it's getting confused. I mean that if you want us to take on this boon, you have to ask us and explain, and then we have to give permission. You can't just do it.
Well,
That's the difference.
It was
I'm not
either
saying no.
that or not
No,
getting it sorted.
no. You took on a boon. That was your
Yes.
choice.
Yes, I did.
Now we have a choice to make. That's my point.
Yeah, and that's why Katia and I already had a conversation regarding that, and I assume Jim has
point
no
is-
issues with that.
There was no time. And
That's not the point. The point is you had no time and you made a decision, and that is fine.
Okay, now that you have time, do you make that decision?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
You just told me that it's very important. I need time to think.
right, you have time to think. What was the other thing? You said you had something you needed to tell us.
Did I?
You said there was something we had to talk about anyway.
Oh. Oh, there's quite a lot, I think. I don't know. It's been a very confusing time. So... I think you're right. I think I am going to do something bad, perhaps, in the future. I think I've seen it. And I'm going to try very hard not to do it, because obviously I saw you die and I saw you get a hand put through you when we stopped that happening, so maybe we can stop this as well. I think that's what I wanted to talk about. What was... So the lupines have gone,
They will be gone soon, is what I understand.
Yes.
Right.
it will be gone soon.
so we're all right again.
We've still got the issue of our ghostly guest to deal with.
Oh, that's fine. I have
Oh my
ideas
goodness,
for that.
Mrs. Morovsky.
Yeah.
She was... There was...
You
she
put
was
her-
swaying.
You put her back. You put her back in her room.
Yes, she was...
Right.
I suppose she
What
was...
happened to Mrs. Minovsky?
I don't really know.
Okay, now I'm gonna need you just to remain calm. We had when I said that Jim slipped in the shower. What I mean to say is he was pushed through the glass door of the shower by our spectral guest.
Oh yes, it was
Push? No.
awful. I had to pick the
Thrown?
glass
Yes.
out of him. It was
Fine.
terrible.
Dramatic.
No.
I can
They cannot touch you. No.
Oliver
That's
show
not how it
him,
works.
show him,
No,
and
that
show
you
him the
tripped.
back.
You tripped and fell. You were being dumped in the shower.
His
That's
back is riddled with...
No. I mean, I believe the glass was real.
I said stay calm. Now listen.
Oh, you know how sometimes you joke, and we joke about these things for fun? This is not one of those times. None of us are joking. We're very serious.
Now, I have determined a few more details about the entity. I believe I can possibly speak to them, understand what it is they need, and hopefully I can resolve this and they can move on.
Oh, I've just remembered. It all happened in a bit of a rush, but I saw Mrs. Morovsky mouthing things, and I read her lips. I might be useful.
If you can tell me anything she said, that'd be very helpful.
Yes, I can.
In addition, Moses, Katia, we want to talk about it. It seems to hate me, so I don't think its attention is on you.
Yes, it definitely dislikes Jim. My hypothesis is that Jim resembled someone who'd hurt it in the past.
Or maybe he knows what Jim's been up to.
Can I recommend that if you think you know how to deal with this, that we assist you and you deal with it, but we don't go and stay at the crossed hands again until that's done? Because...
Potentially,
Well, it was one thing when occasionally a door would open or close. That's bad enough, because obviously we sleep there.
I feel like Jim isn't particularly safe. It hasn't targeted any of the rest of us.
Oh.
I think it might be something to do with a resemblance, or maybe even the room he's in. I'm not sure.
Well, no, I was thinking if I was I'm not a ghost, obviously, but if I was one and I lived in a place, do you remember that there was talk around what happened with the Thin Bloods and the fires and all of that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jim broke your door.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that door is a door in the place that the ghost is.
This is true.
So perhaps the ghost is angry with Jim because Jim broke things in the crossed hands. Because he's the only one of us that's broken anything.
I broke a window.
Oh, you did?
But then there are some things I've seen that I haven't told you. To do with our ghostly friend. It's
So you think they were angry with you for a while as well?
possibly.
That would make sense.
Possibly. Yes.
Maybe that's what it is.
Well, then again, we're now putting together
Oh,
a series of events. So what pisses this thing off?
there is one other.
Nope, I'm not dealing with this. Nope. And
Maybe
I just walk out the car and start walking around the car. I go, no, I'm not hearing this. Nope.
I'm gonna follow off Moses. I don't want to let him go right now. We'll stop talking about it. Just come back, okay? That's the end of that conversation. We'll resume it later. What was that, Benjamin?
Oh, well, I suppose in the grand scheme of things, perhaps it's a small thing, but I got very, very hungry earlier tonight. And it's all right. I was able to control it.
Okay.
And, if anything, it made me more resolute not to give in. But
Did you feed?
yes, but I only took a tiny bit because I was worried
And
about
did
the
you
beast.
feel satisfied?
Yes.
That corroborates
I mean,
our theory.
I obviously wanted more, but I was worried and I was alone and I thought I didn't want to do anything stupid. So I just took the smallest amount I could.
So
and
you're still a bit hungry.
I'm still hungry, but but I'm all right. But if I'm not careful, if I wait too long, then I might struggle again. That's all I'm saying. It's not urgent. I'm fine at the moment, but I don't know what I'll be like tomorrow.
Perhaps maybe when we get back to the cross hands, or after the current issue resolves, you should take one of the coterie and.
I think also it'd be better to go when people are asleep. I think I want to just do something quiet and sensible.
Yes.
None of this running around nonsense.
I agree.
You mean do you want to use this time to go and hunt?
Well, not yet.
The four of us. I mean,
Well,
we could use the extra pair of eyes across the
Really?
streets or everything.
I mean, if you feel like you don't need it yet, and there's other things you'd rather.
I think I want to do it before tomorrow.
Let's do it.
I mean.
Alright.
Let's use this time and all of us help Benjamin. I mean, being in pairs has not been as useful as being in as many people as possible.
It was quite useful when I was with Jim, actually. But
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I think as long as the pairs are constructed correctly for the situation.
Well, just that it would have been much worse if he'd been alone. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Right.
Well, because it's always difficult when you get very hungry and you can't stop feeding. That's all.
Perhaps as long as there is one of myself or Benjamin who can alter people's perceptions of what happened.
But I don't think I'm that far gone. I hope. I think I was earlier. I think I'm all right now, as long as I don't wait too long.
Let's go to a residential
The thing
area.
is, with being chased by strange, monstrous things, I had to push myself a lot, and
That's
it
all right.
made me very hungry.
It's understandable. We'll feed quietly now,
All right.
and then it'll be all done. We'll all be fine, and we can get on with what we need to get on with.
So, who do we owe this? Oh, sorry, not that I've agreed to anything yet, not yet, but just hypothetically, I'll drive if they're in something. Well, who will we owe the boons to? How does that work?
Well, I cannot transfer the whole boon I have to all of you because it's a major one.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it's not that easily
I'm sure you're really not supposed to get those. I remember being told.
As I
There's
said,
only one worse than it.
Sorry?
There's only one worse than
Yeah.
it.
Okay, I'll say. There's only one worse.
Yeah, I was aware. You know what's worse than that? Final death.
Yes. Oh yes. No, that is.
So-
No,
as I said before,
What I'm doing is trying to leverage on minor boons from you to me, so that I can give them assurance that I can fulfill my boon. Basically, when I'm asked to do whatever, you are hooked in with me.
Do you mean like when Jim had to fulfill?
Yeah, but on that episode, we just went out of our own accord and they killed Foggy. Fuck that. I'm not going freely for any boons anytime, anywhere else.
So
and I might have a way of potentially reducing the gravity of your boon, but this is a private discussion.
you want us to owe you
a boon that is but a very specific one. Reassurance that whenever I'm asked to deliver that major boon, you'll have my back.
but you won't take our word for it.
No.
I see. I'll need to think about this a little bit. Maybe when I'm a bit less hungry.
Yeah, sure. Bzzzt. Whose phone?
Everyone checks that.
I have it on my
I'm driving.
I have it on my
Apart from
list.
Megan.
Jim, your phone's ringing. Bzzzt.
Hello.
Jim,
Yeah.
I found her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're going to cut. Because we are now almost quarter of an hour past.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
Sorry, everyone.
I'm just saying, I hope I can remember everything that I wrote down this session next time. I have so much in my head right now.
Yeah. So many conversations need to take place.
Yeah.
I wrote like a slide and a half of notes that session.
So remember to enter our raffle.
Yes.
You have to be subscribed, and well, that'll give you one ticket on our raffle. And if you want more tickets, it's done by putting in 100 bits in. And next week we'll have all those numbers sorted, and we'll pick up a winner.
If you do need a refresh on the how to get tickets, guys, the information is up on the website.
Yes.
It's worth going and having a look there, just having a look around, because more stuff's getting added by Peter constantly. So
Amazing.
it'll be good to for you guys to have a look and see what you reckon. And thank you very much, guys, for joining us. And we will see you next Monday for episode 20, which is the last episode
Season finale.
of book 2. And so yeah, we'll see you then. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode of Blood on the Thames. If you'd like to keep up with all the latest news, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and ShrekNet, the links to which are down below. And remember, if you want to join us live, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. on Twitch. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.